Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the second Revolutionary Girl Utena discussion. Second of, I think, what will end up being 4 discussions. And, well, there's a movie at the end. So, yeah, we'll have 4 discussions. But,
I know.
for everyone listening right now, if you missed the last discussion, because you're a big fan of the Black Rose Saga, I guess, maybe, which is what we're going to be talking about this time, episodes 13 to 24, well, I guess I shouldn't say we. I am watching Revolutionary Girl Utena for the second time. I have watched it like a few years ago, and I don't remember much about it, but I'm here watching again. And I am joined by someone who is watching the entire show for the first time, and that someone is Kyle Entertainment.
Go guy, go guy, go guy! Alita, he doesn't know about that.
I don't know what that means.
That means extra, extra, extra. That's what the great Shadow Girls be saying at the beginning of all of their speeches. And they were back this time, Alita. I can't tell if you were playing retarded, or you were actually retarded last time, where you said you didn't even know if they came back. So tell me you were lying.
I could not tell you if they came back, but I did. As soon as it happened here, I was like, oh yeah, I remember. They changed it up. Yeah, so there's like, and there's also stuff I remember that happens later that I'm like, yeah, I remember this stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, so they're coming back again, Alita.
Well, no, not with the Shadow people, just in general. Like, I get reminded of things. I'm like, oh, yeah, now I remember.
They take off in a UFO again, Alita.
Well, there's continuity. Last time they left in a UFO, the first one they were at an alien planet. I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Oh my goodness. I'm sure I would remember that when we get to my episode 13 notes.
True.
But also, Alita, you ruined everything.
How?
How did you ruin it? Oh, great question, Alita. Because actually, I don't know if we should get into this quite yet.
Oh, lovely.
But I was... Actually, let's just do it, Alita. So, obviously, we're doing till episode 24. So, obviously, episode 24 isn't going to be a Nanami episode that's not actually a part of the Black Rose Saga. So, of course, towards the end of episode 23, I'm expecting this great pink-haired man to beat Utena and then have a rematch in the next epised. Then that doesn't happen. Then it seemed to wrap up or something. And then I watch the preview and it's a Nanami episode and I say, what? And so you ruined you ruined it with your expectations you thrust upon me with your designing of this great review series.
Well, what can I say? You know, I go based on the Wikipedia descriptions of what the arcs are, and this definitely, now that I have verified it, I looked into what happens later, this definitely is part of this arc, and it's definitely not the next arc, so I can tell you that.
No, it's the next arc, Alita. I watched the preview for the next episode, Alita, so you know. I know some things.
That's good to know. But... okay, I guess we can just talk about what you think about it. You go first, because I will give my thoughts after, so go ahead.
What I think about it, I always got to do everything around here, I think.
Yep.
Now, Alita, do I have it written out here? The anime continues to be almost flawlessly great, in brackets 9, but it might be lacking some emotional hooks that really cement it as a great. It's kind of like Cowboy Bebop. It's an... Huh? It's execution... My note, Alita?
Okay.
I probably wrote this like 10 days ago. Anyway, Alita, it was good. It was great even. You know, despite your what do you call it? With a T word where you're fucking with me, Alita. Tribulations, your tribalisms. Despite your influence, Alita, it was, I still come away with great feeling about the Great Revolutionary Girl Utena. It continued to be creative. It continued to be cool. It continued to be funny. It continued to be pretty.
And that's all you want from an anime, so I'm glad to hear it. That's wonderful. Okay, I was curious, because it is very different. There is a lot of...
No, it's not!
It's definitely very tonally different to the first arc, I would say. Like it feels...
Only a little bit.
Yeah, but I would say very. I'd say, like...
They're gonna kill the Rose Bride, Alita. That's not cool.
It is true. But... okay, I guess my thoughts are, I like this a lot. This is way better than the first stuff. I'm a big fan of the Black Rose Saga.
Crazy.
To me, it's like the... man, it's so cool in that this story, like it's something that only works in Utena, or the way that Utena is structured, where every episode, or basically every episode, has a very similar structure of having this one, typically a background character that shows up and they have a problem and they like say their problem out loud, and then they go deeper and they say the actual problem out loud, and then they fight and they lose and it's over and it goes back to normal. I love this basic structure. I love that it repeats every episode. I love that it never really like... or it does sometimes do things differently, but for the most part, it just does the same thing every time, and it's awesome. And the problems the characters have, I love them. I like how straightforward they are sometimes. I love how realistic they can be sometimes. I love bringing the small characters to be at the forefront. I like that. There's a lot of stuff I like about this. This is one of my, like, there is always a time where I'm thinking, like, what are my favorite arcs of all time? And I think of obviously the Chimera Ant arc. This is one that's always up there in terms of, like, I always remember this one from the first time I watched it. Man, the Black Rose Saga, I really, really like that. So this is definitely, really good. And in a rewatch, it was fantastic. So I'm very happy with it. But
you're a liar, Leader. It's not every episode, because every 1 or 2 episodes we get a great Nanami episode that's not like that at all.
No, I think we got one Nanami episode.
There's the cow one, and there's at least another one.
Yeah, there's the cow one. That's it.
Oh, one at the end? Stupid.
Well, that's a Mitsuru episode.
Mitsuki, but whatever. It's a Nanami funny episode anyway. And I'm sure there was another one, but I'll go through it when we go through the episodes by episodes, Leader.
Yep. All right. Mm-hmm. So,
but it was exactly the same as the first one, in quality and coolness.
I'm glad to hear it. That's all I care about. Yeah, so I have a little bit more structured notes this time. The first thing I think we should try and talk about is the new normal. Because I guess the last batch of episodes we saw, the first arc, there is a very repetitive structure where it is like you meet a new character, you learn about them for the first time, they fight Utena, then they lose, and you kind of repeat that a bunch until the whole student council is done, and then you have some crazy stuff at the end, and it's kind of a similar thing with a similar structure. Here we have also that similar structure, but it's a bit different. Like there's obviously, I guess even before we get into any of that, there's a new character we meet. I don't know, can you say his name? Firstly, do you know, there's 2 new characters actually, but I was going to say the one that is related to Anthe. Do you know who that character is?
Why would I ever know anyone's name, Elitari? Actually, I think Anthe's brother is Akio or something.
Yes, oh my goodness, well done. So yes, this is a new character we meet. He is a character that shows up quite a lot, or like not quite a lot, but like quite, what do you call it? Like,
and he's frequently evil.
Potentially, I guess. I don't know. I guess we can talk about that, but the point is that, he's Anthe's older brother. Last time you mentioned some older sibling thing last time. I wasn't sure if you were referring to Utena or Anthe or... yeah.
No, the prince was obviously Anthe's older brother, but no, not this guy, a different older brother. Yeah. Now, obviously, Anthe's, which I think she was pretending to be a little boy for a little bit of this thing. Yeah. I think that was the twist at the end. And that guy looked exactly like the prince, but he wasn't acting like it, so I knew it was just a fake out of Leadery.
Mm-hmm. Interesting, okay.
And also, this guy's got pink hair just like Utena, and he's got his own Anthe, and it's a boy little prince guy. But it was actually not even him or something. It was crazy.
That is true. And we'll go through all of that. I was very confused it's first time watching it this time around, but I also rewatched it
still
again.
Not confusing, Elitari. You're just stupid.
Oh, wonderful. We can get you to explain that story then. We'll get to the end then, and then we'll see what you do.
Pretty easy. I'll do it. Don't worry.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. So, yeah, Akio is there. Now, I don't really know what we can possibly say about this.
Well, we got to talk about how the new normal, Elitari, since you did such a poor job at explaining it.
Sure.
Because now we've got different things. So I think for maybe the first 3 episodes or so, we get the great student council entrance still, but Namani's there. But then eventually we stop doing it, and we do have student council scenes, but it's all them being like, man, they really fucked us. How embarrassing. And then they blush. And then also we've got new shadows. They're always appearing in the lockers. They go guy, go guy, go guy. That's what they say at the beginning of Elitari. You wouldn't know.
They say extra, extra. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure that's as cool, Elitari.
It's way cooler, actually. The dub is better than the sub, and I am speaking as someone who's seen both, so I watched 2 episodes twice. Once in sub, once in dub. The dub is better.
English cannot be good at voice acting, Elitari. You ever seen Arcane? Embarrassing. Now...
No. Ever seen the Arcane Japanese dub? Embarrassing.
I'm sure it would make that show tolerable. Yeah. But actually, nothing could do that, Elitari. Let's not get ridiculous out here. Now, Elitari, shut up. At the end of the things, Utena usually talks to the shadows or something, or references what they should obviously be doing to conclude it. Except for the last episode, or maybe some other ones, but in the last episode, those 3 stooges were there, and not the 3 girl stooges, Elitari, the 3 boy stooges. You understand the difference.
Yeah.
And then also, what else do we do? Oh, the song changed, Elitari. It's not the old version of the greatest song of all time, and it is slightly worse now. It's not as dramatic at the very beginning, and the little bits afterwards are a little different. So, that's not cool. We should change it back to the original one. In the movie, when she's going up the stairs to fight the final bad guy, it better be the old version. Now... there's other things that every episode do too. Oh, obviously we got the going down the escalator scene, and you got to go deeper, Elitari. Let's not be ridiculous out here. And then there's the it's like a moth on the background, and then it goes down, and then it like goes back to a little caterpillar and stuff, or it's in its cocoon, Elitari. And then there's other things that are in every episode too, but I explained it much better than you.
Wonderful. What is there? There's I guess we didn't really
A black
explicitly
rose?
mention this, but there is the fact that Toga is basically catatonic in this set of episodes. We don't see him talk
Well,
once.
no, he's just depressed.
Well, what I'm trying to say is that we don't see him really talk. He is
True, we very
depressed.
explicitly don't see him talk.
Yeah, but we do hear him. Apparently, at the party, he was more excited or like more happy than they kind of expected.
Yes, but we see it from outside the window, Aliri.
Yeah, exactly.
My goodness. So we just can't wait for the return of the great red guy. And in the preview for the next episode, it shows him speaking.
Interesting. So I guess we'll see if he speaks.
So, I know what's going to happen next time. They're really holding off. And they're kind of holding off on the green guy coming back. My goodness, what a twist when the green guy came back, Aliri. Now, that's Sayunji.
Oh, my goodness. I can't believe you said that. Good job.
Shut up, idiot. And, but oh my goodness, he was in the house with the Wakaba. But don't worry, Aliri, because he's also going to be, we're getting all the great characters back for the last arc. It's going to be super duper epic. We're going to fight the big evil Anthe. So I'm just so excited. We're gonna slap her this time, and we're gonna be so excited.
Huh? Is this your theory that Anthe is the bad guy or Anthe's brother?
Well, obviously her brother's the bad guy, and she's just doing whatever her brother says. But I'm sure they got some tragedy in it, and in the end, they'll be good guys too.
All right, that's good to hear. There's another thing you forgot to mention, which is that the duels themselves are different. There's like you said, the song is different, but there's like desks now, and there's objects on the desks, and there's like forensic outlines of bodies.
Go together.
They do. At the end of every duel, the desks go together, and someone falls on a little shadow thing, and
there's a Sherlock crime scene outline for you to fall in when the great Utena beats you.
Yep, it's pretty cool.
She ain't losing a group of episodes, Aliri. Don't be ridiculous.
That's right, despite how much you thought she would in that final fight. And it is, everything is set up in that moment to make you feel like she's going to lose. Especially the fact that, like, she's challenging someone for the first time. Well, not maybe the first time, but, like, first time in this set of episodes.
Mean. She says, shut up, loser. I'm going to beat your ass. Don't worry. No matter what, I'll beat your ass. I'm going to beat your ass.
And she does.
She says it like 3 times. And she just did, and this guy sucks,
Yep.
Now, what was that? Mikage or something, because it was like Kage.
Yeah, every time I was writing my notes, I kept thinking Hokage, but yeah, it is me. There's a bunch of names for that guy. I got a whole section on him. We can talk about that later. He's got 3 names. But
he was like 100 years old or something, I think. That was crazy.
Yeah, he is at least multiple decades old, or at least that time skip we see of him is multiple decades. So yeah, it is kind of crazy. What an interesting place this story takes place in. Now, I have, just because we've already touched on the Shadow People, I have some stuff I want to say about them specifically, which is that...
Go guy, go guy!
Exactly, it's specifically about that, which is that last time they were saying, did you know, which feels very akin to like like a rumor or like gossiping kind of thing. This time it's like, we're proclaiming the knowledge. This is like a news thing, like extra, like
it's a newspaper.
Yeah, it's an escalation or a bolder form of like information sharing, which I think is interesting.
Now, what do they mean when they say extra when they're talking about newspapers? Not just in this show, but in every show, Aliri. Why does the little boy who's selling the newspaper in your favorite 1930s movie yell, extra, extra, read all about it? Why does he say that? What's extra mean?
Who knows? I could not tell you. Maybe it's like it's a short way of saying extraordinary news. Or I have no idea.
True. That's a good guess, Aliri. Now, I'm going to Google it while you talk.
Yep. I have some, what did I say? There's continuity, which we talked about. Oh, wait, I don't know if we talked about this continuity. No, we already talked about the UFO continuity, but there's cool continuity toward the end of this, where one of the shadow things, they're talking about this, like, I'm a robot that eats monkeys or something. And then 2, like, episodes later, the robot monkey shows up. Or, like, there's a girl who reveals herself to be a monkey, and then, like, the robot randomly shows up and eats her. I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. There's, like, continuity between these things. That was awesome.
I thought it just captured her.
Well, it captured her. I assumed it ate her, because I think it captured her in the mouth or something like that, or something like that.
It was in a net, I believe.
Yeah, I think the net
went into the mouth,
right? True.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but... and then what else was there? And then to me, last time you said, man, you know what? These Shadow People things, they make a lot of sense. And I was like, no, they don't. But you know what?
Of course they do.
At least in this set of episodes, they definitely do. Where I was like, most of the time, I think I got the point where I'm like, oh, I see how this is relating to the episode. So that's
One
cool.
time, somebody had to it was the second last episode. He had to get over. He was stuck in the past. This father, Aliri, and just like the pink-haired guy was stuck in the past. And he said, "Wow, that's like a metaphor."
What on earth are you talking about?
So, Aliri, this pink guy was stuck in the past. That was his whole thingy at the end. And the shadows were an old man, and he was like telling his daughter that one time he used to be good or something.
He was
stuck in the past.
The school
Aliri.
president.
So if you connect the details, Aliri, you can figure it out. Now, also, Aliri, extra means like new edition. So it's like extra paper.
Oh, wow.
Here you are to buy a second one today or something.
Fascinating. Thank you for figuring that out. But yes, the Shadow People, we love them. One of the coolest things in Utena, so I'm glad they continue. Now, will they continue next time? I truly don't know, but I guess we'll see.
They better be Elitery or I'm going to drop the show.
The real question is, will they change up the formula next time? Will they be doing something different?
Of course they will, Elitery. Yeah. What do you think? This is a fucking lazy show?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, now more on this new normal thing. We learned another thing, which is like the new normal here, which is that Anthe visits her brother like once a week. This is something that's like retroactively kind of being set here.
On the weekends, I think.
Yeah, well, on the weekends, basically. Like she visits him there. What'd you take from this?
It's because she's pretending to be that little boy.
Interesting. I was curious if that's what you take from it.
But also, they're like clearly hinting at incest or something. They were like cuddling, and I was like, oh no. And the lights went out. I said, don't fuck your brother, Anthe. But that's probably not what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's like, it is interesting. We can talk about it later. I'm sure we get a lot more of like these characters, but
I think these girl shows, there's at least one character that wants to fuck their older brother.
I could not possibly.
And this one we got two.
We definitely do have two. Well, we have at least one. That is definitely true. Now, if you consider Anthe one, then.
And it's like, remember Yamada's first time? I brought it up last time, Elitery. That was just like that too, and that's the other show for girls.
Oh yeah, I vaguely remember. Yes, true, maybe.
So
All right, lovely. Well, I got 2 quotes here, okay? I said, at the episode 14 ending, Anthe takes off her glasses while Akio is lounging on the couch with his shirt unbuttoned, and then the curtain closes and says, it's been a week, did you miss me? Yes, big brother. I'm like, okay, interesting.
That's the incest angle, his shirt was unbuttoned.
Yeah, and then there's in episode 15, Akio says, I'll comfort you as I always do, little mouse. And then Anthe says, squeak, squeak, or choo choo.
Yucky.
Like, it is, yeah, it's very funny. Yeah, I don't want to, we can talk more about it next time. I have one more note, but we'll save it till then. But it's interesting.
Anthe's going to betray the great Utena for this yucky brother, and Utena's going to have to win her back. That's the last arc, Elitery.
Maybe, I guess we'll see. But it's not, it's not just Anthe who's visiting him, though. It's Utena is, throughout this arc, consistently visiting him. Like, it becomes like a staple of the episode.
Therapist.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And one time she's doing like a backbend thing and talking to him, and I'm like, that's goofy and weird, and I kind of like it. It's cool.
Oh, true. Yeah, she was doing the Bray Wyatt thing, Elitery. You love wrestling.
I don't know what that is.
The spider walk or whatever you call it.
True. Bending her backwards or something like that. But yep.
Well, that doesn't really capture it because her hands are also on the ground, Elitery.
True. That is a good point. Now, more also, you mentioned the elevator, which goes down. Firstly, this is a super cool, like, I don't know what you'd call it, like the iconic imagery or whatever from Utena. Like, this is something I think of when I think of Utena, of like the particular framing of like the corner of the elevator looking down at the character as they're like slouched over in the chair. There's like an image we get a bunch of these episodes, and I really like it.
Yeah, they copied like Evangelion or something, you know?
Yeah. What is like the time? When did Evangelion come out again? Was that after this or
like
before
2
this?
years before.
Oh, before it? Damn. Well, maybe. Yeah, so there's like a few things. I think you mentioned most of these. There's the hands on the chairs that are all pointing to the elevator, like before you actually get to the elevator, which is super scary.
Yes, that's some creepy stuff, Elitery.
Yep, you got the actual framing of the person, like I said. You have just
I'll even meet the receptionist at some point, because there's the receptionist there sometimes, and then she like leaves.
That's true, yeah. She quits. And it took me a while
that boy
to figure out who that
her.
was, yeah. True. Then there's the sound design itself, I think, is really good. Like the getting more intense, like the elevator going down, like as well as like flashing to stuff on the walls and having like the different like rose patterns like show up. I think all of this is just done really good. The deeper thing, like you said. And then ending with your only choice is to revolutionize the world. The path you must take is being prepared for you. It's like, wow.
Except someone was told not to do that. Was it Wakaba or somebody else? But Wakaba ended up doing it.
It was her Onion Prince. Or Onion Knight or whatever.
Oh, true. The fake out where you think he's going to be the bad guy or whatever. True.
Yep. And then the final thing is the incinerating of the coffin after each duel. It's like he's expending like a little piece of
they'd be falling into the
money.
fire.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. But that's the new normal, Kyle. Kind of crazy. And I guess we'll see what the next new normal is next time. But the next section of notes I have is probably going to be the majority of what we talk about, which is the actual Black Rose duels. Like there's one basically every episode.
Well, how about I do my overall thoughts full version before we do this?
Of course.
Now, I was making a silly Cowboy Bebop point at the end, but I've since reread it, Elitery, so I know what I was saying. Now, this actually is not like Cowboy Bebop. It's like Cowboy Bebop as a comparison. So, Cowboy Bebop, the quintessential 9 out of 10, you know?
Yep.
Because, it's pretty good. But sometimes it's like, whatever, Cowboy Bebop, I don't really love it that much. Like, I love all the great 10 out of 10s. Now, Revolutionary Girl Utena might be at a 9 right now, Elitery. Because Though everything is terrific, Elitari, you just never seen anything better executed, more creative, more delightful in your life. There's only one moment so far, and it was in the last group of episodes, that have been truly emotionally touching, Elitari. And that was, of course, the great Utena monologue when she's in the coffin, the greatest scene of all time. But besides that, we're just missing that engagement, that moment to point to say this revolutionary girl Utena is a 10 out of 10. So we're waiting for it, Elitari. We'll see if the next one can reach that great milestone when that dumb bitch Anthe turns on us. Maybe we'll have to see, and Utena's going to get very angry.
There is I just want to say there is absolutely a moment like that for me. I am curious. I am so curious what you're going to think about it, but there definitely is one for me where I'm like, man, what a thing. But it's next time. It's not in this set of episodes. You haven't seen it yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, shut up, Elitari, you
I'm just so excited
idiot.
to talk about it. Oh my goodness. But yeah.
This is like me with Naruto every time where I say, wait and see, Elitari.
Yep.
Now, Naruto a great 10 out of 10. Actually, no, original Naruto's an 8 out of 10, Elitari. Naruto should put in a 10 out of 10, but we'll get to it. Now, what was I saying? True. We're missing that great... We need the escalation. But Elitari, the last few 10 out of 10s I've seen, I'm pretty sure I always say this in the middle where it's like, I'm not sure if it's going to take the great leap. And now Succession's a 10 out of 10, Elitari. So what can we say? True, the best scene was the flashback scene. I already said that. This is a general thing. And this is probably actually what you're going to get into with the Rose Duelist stuff. So let's see what the next one is. True. This is a like Ava note. We kind of already said that. Utena with a movie budget does sound crazy, bro. I was just thinking about that one time when I was watching these episodes. I said, wow, how are we going to take this to the next level with the great movie? And then I looked at the movie poster on Letterboxd and stuff, and it had a 4.2, and I said, that's pretty cool, brother. Can't wait for this movie. So, Elitari, if we're still saying the 9 out of 10 thing at the end of the next group, Elitari, don't worry, the movie's still to come. And Elitari just has never seen the end of Utena, so that's kind of crazy. No, that wasn't even an end of Ava joke. I was just saying that you never watched it, and it's obviously the ending of the whole story, and you left on a cliffhanger, and you didn't even know it because you thought Utena was so confusing because you're stupid.
Right.
Now, true, I think I'll save both these for what you're about to get into, Elitari, so go ahead.
All right, so the Black Rose Duels are the central piece of this kind of arc here, I guess, named after these things. And I guess my interpretation, which I think is pretty clear, is that we are fighting in this duel like the real versions of people. Like the emotions that basically every person is a combination of different versions of themselves, the versions they present to different people. But within every person is a version that they think is the version that is truly themselves. The true feelings they never tell anyone, the version they bury deep down inside, and they feel it, they know it, but they don't ever let it be known to the world. And in this set of episodes, we get one of these typically one kind of strong feeling or thought or version of themselves that comes out, and they kind of they express it both in words and then in fighting at the end, and they want to revolutionize the world by making their kind of thoughts or the version of themselves be kind of resolved somehow.
Don't worry, Elitari, I know what that means now, so just ask me.
Go ahead. Which part? What do you mean?
So obviously revolutionizing the world means stopping time and making the good stuff eternal, Elitari. That's what this pink-haired guy is after. That's why he's always saying it. He wants to go back to the happy times or whatever, when he was with his little brother and his hot girlfriend, who I don't think was his girlfriend. But, he's a human computer or something, Elitari. He doesn't have emotions.
Right. Like that monkey catching computer robot.
That's an evil computer, Elitari. You got to let that monkey go. Now, Elitari, don't interrupt me because I forgot what I was saying.
You were saying this guy has a hot girlfriend that wasn't his girlfriend.
Oh no, that was the tangent. We needed to get away from revolutionizing the world, Elitari, of course. And all these people, especially Wakaba, she wanted to stop time because if time keeps going forward, the great Saionji is going to leave her because she's lame. And I'm pretty sure that applied to all of them. I just don't remember right now. So that's what revolutionizing the world is. It's when you want to freeze the moment. We had a good thing going and then things start to go a little bad. And you're like, no, we got to stop here. With the twin, with Miki's twin, she wanted to, he was getting more invested in that no good Anthe, that evil Anthe. And so he had to, she's got to stop it. And what was Mitsubuki? I don't remember what the details were for him, but I'm sure it applies here. So that's what revolutionizing the world means.
Your kind of definition here, I think, fits for all the ones you recalled. I think you would struggle to adapt it to the ones you're not recalling. In particular, there are two. There is Mitsuru, who wants to grow up, who wants to become an adult, right? Who wants to...
That's the opposite of what I just said. That's not good.
Yeah, now there might be a way to read it as though it's like, maybe he wants to be an adult because he wants like Nanami's attention and stuff like that. And maybe it's like he would freeze a point where...
True!
Like,
Nanami walks off with that other dude and says this dumb Mitsuki is just a dumb kid. So she wanted to freeze the time to when they were just hanging out and this loser wasn't here. Actually, the loser was the pink-haired guy, I think.
Yeah, and then the one you would struggle the most with by far is Juri and her friend Shiori, I guess.
Because she wanted things to go back to the way things... Well, kinda. They wanted to be friends again. That's how things were,
well, okay. It's an interesting reading. Okay.
I win again.
Yeah, you know what? We'll get to it when we get to it. Okay. But okay, yeah, interesting reading. Revolutionizing the world.
My goodness, could you believe that bitch came back, Elitery?
A bunch of characters came back. Which one?
Oh, that's my other note about this overall thingy here is that, my goodness, the retreading of backstories and characters risks being familiar, but the original episodes were so strong, I enjoyed each of them coming back, fleshing out the cast in major ways in which you wouldn't expect. True, and especially because we weren't just fleshing the cast out, Elitery, we were making them all evil. True. So that was crazy, Elitery, and that was very fun. And then the second bit here is Utena does its character exploration a little bit like Ava. And by like Ava, Elitery, I think I just mean Asuka and Shinji. Where there's the way the character appears to be on the outside, and there's a darker layer underneath. But they go deeper by having them return afterwards to their default state. Oh yeah, this is an important part. Yeah. Every character kind of returns to how they once were, to the status quo afterwards. Yep. Because it's not about change, Elitery. You got to forget about Denji and character development, all right? You just got to think about, everybody has these deep, dark desires on the inside. They just want to lash out sometimes. And this is the not verbalization, because they're fighting, Elitery, not just with words like some lame show, but with swords, because this is Revolutionary Girl Utena and it's cool. This is the temper tantrum they're going on to fight for what they want, even though the world won't give it to them. And Utena is the world, Elitery. And she's going to knock them back down into place. And isn't that just sad? If
Utena is the world, who is end of the world? My goodness.
Oh, they turned on the Great Student Council. Can you believe it? Yeah. And obviously that's just Anthe and her brother. Now, I don't know. The Ava thing was interesting, because the going deeper thing, there's moments with both Shinji and Asuka where they're sitting on chairs and then it's not a different character. It's just their subconscious or something saying but that's not what you really want or something. And then you buckle a little bit more. So all that's cute. Obviously that's great.
Yeah, I do agree with that. It is a very, it is something that reminds me of Evangelion. Now, famously, that's stuff that I didn't like in Evangelion, at all. It's obviously stuff I love in this. I think for me, it is probably the variety. In that, it's Shinji and Asuka are very simple to me, where I'm I get it immediately, what they are, and I don't really want to keep exploring it for whole episodes.
You don't get it, Elitery. You don't get it.
These ones are also simple. Most of the time, it's you can express their kind of issues in one sentence, but it's you get so much of it that it's kind of cool. Yeah.
I wouldn't describe any of them as simple, Elitery.
All right.
Now, I was going to say something before that, but sometimes you forget things.
True.
Where are you taking us next, Elitery?
Well, I think we can talk about each of these duels. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. So the first of these is Akio's fiance, who we meet in the first episode.
Shouldn't we just do episode by episode at this point? Because it's basically what we're going to do.
Sure, yeah.
Because the first one is our cool recap.
We can do that. Yeah, let's start with the recap one first. So I don't have a single thing for this. So go say whatever.
Somehow I think this is the one I have the most notes for. So let's see what the fuck I could have possibly written down.
The thing to say though is that first, it's a recap episode that is framed through the perspective of our kind of main antagonist, or not antagonist, I guess, but the main person we're following, the new character here in Mikage. And as he's talking with Mamiya about kind of the duels that Utena has gone through. So that is the context.
And also, it's great for intrigue, Elitery, because who are these new guys? And why does he look like the prince? And why does he look like Anthe? And why does this guy have pink hair just like the great revolutionary girl Utena?
Yep.
So you're just thinking about so many things. It is interesting that we bookend with the same sort of concept here, where it's kind of recap, but kind of not. Well, I guess the last episode is much more explicitly not recap because we're recontextualizing things. But we'll get to that. Hold your horses. Of course, the Great Shadows are back, and right away, Elitery idiot might make Might makes right, and losers smell like fish, and they fish the UFO out from the picture frame. Oh, true. There's like a little picture frame, and they're doing like a fishing thing. So this must have been epic, Elitery. So don't think we're not going to go over every shadow scene. That's like the only thing I wrote down for some episodes. The prince, but there's another guy too. True. Each duel has their own name. And Self was the last one, true, because Utena had to battle herself. Remember when she was getting raped and she had to come back into her. Remember that red guy was raping her by touching her at the table that one time when she was out of it.
Okay.
We went over this last time, Elitery. It even moved the Rose Princess a little. Oh, the last one, the last battle.
Yep.
That's the Rose Princess is, of course, Anthe Elitery.
The Rose Bride.
Some of that recap Elitery was talking about. Look at all the different songs. True, Elitery. Did you finally realize that every duel has a different song when this recap was playing all the songs again?
I did realize that a lot of the duels had different songs. I didn't know if it was every duel, but that is true. There are very different songs.
I'm pretty sure every one. Now, this is all the hope of the prince. Now, when I say Prince Elitery, I mean the little boy. Now, I don't know. They're probably saying some vague things here that was supposed to mean something. The seal on his power has begun to break. Maybe this was about the roses or something.
Probably about Dios, I would imagine.
True. His is the power of Dios. True, but I think the power of Dios is now just the eternal thingy or something. Because that's what they kept saying towards the end. They said, she is closer to the power of Dios than even us, even though all we've done or something. And, that's crazy. And that's because he comes down. Isn't it funny how sometimes in the duel they cut the scenes where it's like we'll just see a flash of him beginning to come down, and then we cut to like you're supposed to already understand that it's already come down. That's right. They cut some things out later. It was kind of cool. And it could be revived by her. That was Revolutionary Girl Utena, of course. Just like your Elitery, she's Revolutionary Girl Utena, okay? They may not have had the power to revolutionize the world because they have all the hope taken away from them. True, you need hope or something. Cool editing to the music through the fight recaps. True, they were editing coolly.
Yep.
There are two different guys with purple hair and dark skin. They're two different
I guess
guys
technically.
with purple hair. What does that mean?
I was trying to, because there's Mamiya, right? With the purple hair and dark skin. And then there's, I would assume is talking, wait, but have we met Akio at this point? Because Akio has purple hair.
Yeah, he's in the first episode.
Yeah, I would assume you're talking about those two.
True.
Which ends up being Anthe and her brother, so it makes sense that they'd look similar, but...
Yes, that is true. But also, Mimiya and Himimiya, they're like the same name, but without the front part of Elitery. They're definitely related to Anthe. True, I'm a genius. Revolution is the name of a jewel.
Wait a minute. I can't believe I'd never figured that out. Mamiya and Himimiya are like it's like the same thing. Wow.
Well, it's obvious when you're seeing the word written out whenever they say Elitery.
I guess. All right.
Watch the sub, you fucking idiot. This is where I realized it was all French stuff. Because every word was like a French-related word or something, and obviously the French love the revolution, and everything looks like it's fancy and French, and roses, the roses of Versailles or something.
Oh, wow.
Like,
what does that mean?
So, it's all French, because French is pretty, and the ladies love France, and they love pretty boys, and they love cool girls, Elitery. And fencing, that's French.
Maybe.
It's in that Barry Lyndon movie, and that's British, I think.
Yeah.
But, they were fighting each other. They were probably saying, who can fence better? Or something. These fucking idiots. Europe Elitery, it's lame, right?
I've never been there.
Elitery's been everywhere. Then the prince will be released finally. Now, what the fuck could that possibly mean?
I would want to go back and rewatch it, because I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure the implication is that they want to free Mamiya at that point or something like that.
Yes, he would be the prince. Yes.
Yeah.
They will both equally profit from it. True. Anthe is waiting for him. True, this is the incest Elitery. Hyping the battles to come. True, they must have a line about the best battles are still to come or something. Anthe arrives home and doesn't say where she was. She's evil Elitery.
True.
And that was episode 13. So now episode 14 will, of course, be the first duel, I'm assuming. The prince is also a lady? Question mark, exclamation mark. Now, does he have a lady voice in the dub Elitery?
So that is, Mamiya's voice is, it's just a guy, I think.
Just like Miki, who also sounds like a girl?
Miki, that's a really different voice in the sub and the dub. Mamiya's is like definitely different, but it's like not as different as like Miki and the sub and the dub though. That's like a very completely different choice. But it's like
we're all thumbsing you down right now.
it is also like a thing where you would never be able to pick up that it is the same person just by the voice with Mamiya and Anthy. Like they sound completely different, obviously in the dub. In the sub, they might as also. I can't really tell. I didn't really hear Anthy's voice much, so.
True, I didn't notice any Anthy similarities, but if they had the same voice actor, that would be crazy on God, and that would seem fitting. But I don't know.
Yep.
My next note, Illyri says, her brother, Illyri. So this is when they must reveal that the guy is Anthy's brother. Doesn't know about the Rose Bride stuff. Oh, I guess I was a little confused here because maybe they didn't refer to her as that. And I'm like, how much does he know what's going on? But
there was a scene where where Anthy told Utena not to tell her brother about the Rose Bride stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
She's lying to Revolutionary Girl Utena earlier. This is not cool.
Yep. Go ahead.
I don't it after last episode. What the fuck could that possibly mean?
Absolutely no idea.
The prince is a boy. Oh my god, I'm figuring it out that he's a boy.
Oh my goodness.
They finna kill Anthy? That's not cool.
Yep.
100 boys were buried here. And then I have written, who cares? Oh, I'm making a joke about nobody cares about boys dying. So because I have who cares written in all caps, Lear. I thought I was maybe making fun of the plot point or something, but that's not what I was doing.
Yep.
The bride wants to kill Anthy for real. She's a meanie. They stabbed this lady with a black rose. True. The first few times they stabbed him with black roses. That wasn't cool.
Yeah.
Now, who the fuck is the bride?
Yeah, there's probably some stuff to talk about here about Akio's fiance, I assume what you're talking about.
Oh, she was the first one.
Yeah. So, firstly, we learn a few things. We learn that Akio is the acting chairman of Otori Academy, whereas his fiance's father is the actual chairman or something like that, which is interesting. We learned
He's
that
dead, bro.
He might be. I guess we don't really see him. We don't even see the fiance afterwards either. So who knows what she is.
That's true. I was about to bring that up because he's also kissing that girl that the pink-haired guy likes.
That is true, but that was many decades ago. But
no, he's a playboy, no good, not to be trusted, and he's fucking his sister, Illyri.
It is a very interesting introduction to Akio we get here, which is like the first scene we get of him. Utena walks into the room and is like, oh, this can't be the room, and closes the elevator. And then Antony's like, no, that's his room. And then they go in the room, and then he's like up on a ladder, like kissing someone. And Utena's like, oh, we shouldn't be here. We're going to leave. And then it's true. It's interesting. It's a very different, I don't know how to say it. To me, it's very tonally different to the show earlier, but I don't know how to express it. But yep, Akio, what a guy.
He's scary, and we shouldn't trust him.
Well, I think the point, at least at this point, is more about how he's older and like wiser, I guess, more so. Where it's like he's kissing people, he's got relationships he's getting married, he's like a chairman. He's it's like different. He's like and he's clearly older. Yeah.
But Toga was kissing people too.
Yeah, I guess Toga's probably the most similar to kind of Akio, I guess, in this sense. But
and they're gonna have a big fight soon. Oh, it's gonna be
maybe
epic. Now. True, the bride, it was mean. She hates that girl Anthy because she's not a real girl and she knows it.
This is like the elevator scene we're talking about here, where it's like it's an interesting reframing of Anthy. I'm curious if at this point had you ever thought of Anthy as something like that? Like, have you ever thought of her to be this creepy kind of a person
I
who
might have said something like that in the first part, but I couldn't remember the potential context.
Okay, interesting.
I just can't remember, but true. It does fit. She's like not really a person, Illyri, and you're very aware of that. I probably said Rei Ayanami a bunch in the first one. That's not quite it, but she's probably just a victim in the end that we got to save.
Maybe. Well, Akio's fiance frames it and says like, her eyes look alien. Where it's like
it very much is like Ritsuko's mother towards Gendo, and Rei is she's like. There's something not right about this Rei girl, and then like, but she's also jealous of the Rei's relationship with Gendo and stuff like that.
True.
I don't know, she is Rei Ayanami after all.
But the initial incident that caused her to not like her was when she offered her like, what was it, like her favorite scarf or something, and then
true, and then she wiped it on her ass or something.
She wiped her glasses with it, and she's like, that's not what I meant. It's like, oh my god.
And you can't tell if Anthony's just like Rei doesn't know social cues, Illyri, or she's secretly being passive aggressive. And she was always the victim of Mamani's passive aggressiveness, and then sometimes aggressiveness, Illyri. We hate that Namani. She's evil. But or was it actually she was playing 4D chess the whole time, Illyri? We got to keep an eye on this evil lady Anthy.
Yep.
Then she's the last duel. Now that would be crazy. Now, Where was I up to? She's a meanie. They stabbed her with a rose. True. Shadows over Utena. For a second, I thought maybe Wakaba was the shadows. True.
Okay.
Utena tells them to pull it out. True. This is the first time she interacted with the shadows, and I was freaking out.
Yep.
Oh my god! Wait. What were the shadows doing? Did I say in there?
I could not tell you.
They got to pull something out. So who knows what it was? I'm sure it was genius.
Maybe it's a tooth.
Oh my god! Huh?
Maybe they pulled a tooth out. I can't remember.
Perhaps Tooth Fairy. They could be talking about that. Oh my god! It's a different version of the song. Not cool. True. It wasn't as cool.
For context, by the way, I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's like a different verse of the same song or something like that.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Because it's just like the intro. It's only the intro that's the problem, because it's not like, the timbre of the intro, and then there's like a few extra hits or something, or the drums or something.
I might not be remembering correctly, but I think it's like a different singer. At least in the first version, the singer is more. Different. You can hear the singer over the instrumental stuff more, whereas this one it's more mixed.
Yes.
It's different.
The first one's more like aggressive.
I don't know about that, but maybe.
It is, yes. But true. We'll see what the third remix is for this next group of episodes. Wait, are you allowed to tell me what the next arc is called, Elitery? Is there only one arc left, or is there 2 arcs left? I bet there's only one.
There is one arc left officially, like, in the DVD set or whatever they published. I'll tell you at the end what it's called.
Oh my god, we're gonna forget, and then I'm never gonna know.
Won't. I'll put it in my notes. Go ahead.
The desks and flowers, and she's evil now. True, they're really evil. They want to kill it. And I thought maybe the desk and flowers were just for this one, but the flowers was just for this one. But the desks are for all of them.
True. Yep.
And it's really cool when they all go together.
Yep.
That's the coolest part. Also, them falling into the little thingies. That's really cool too. But we already talked about it. Oh my goodness, my next note. And she falls into the little outlines on the ground. The desks fall together. They're putting the visual flares into the fights now. True. The fights were boring in that first one, Illyri, but now we got cool things.
That's right.
Choo Choo doesn't go with Anthe on Saturdays. That's how you know it's evil, Illyri. They fucking in there or what?
It's an interesting framing. I do like it a lot. Because it is like, Choo Choo is just, he doesn't really say anything. He's kind of like, he backs away
her fake
from like
innocence, Elitery. Oh my god, the great Choo Choo is abused by this Anthe.
Maybe that'll be. Well, I guess I can't say. Maybe it does happen. Yeah,
it is interesting because Anthe has many moments that are very. You view them as aloof. Like she falls asleep at one point standing up when Nanami is monologuing or something. I think. There's like other things where it's like, oh, it's cute because she doesn't really care. Like maybe she's just absent-minded, which does fit with like her character. Like she just doesn't know what's like important or what's like, she doesn't really seem to care if things threaten her or whatever. But is it all performative? And what a twist it could be. But we'll have to see, Elitery. But that's all I had for the first duel, if you had more for it.
No, that's all I've got.
Oh my god, episode 15, Elitery. Oh my god, Elitery, the notes are back. Drew, the notes, Elitery. What's that?
The notes from End of the World?
The musical notes.
Oh yes, because true, this is the episode about Miki's sister Kozue. That is true.
So is the sister, I say in all exclamation marks. Now, I said Kozue in one of our things we did recently where I confused her name with a different name for a different character.
Yes.
What could that have been?
Takapi's Original Sin.
Takapi's Original Sin, of course, we did that. I forgot. But true. Oh, also, I have written in brackets preview spoilers because, yes, I was spoiled that the sister was back in the preview because I'm always watching the previews, Elitery.
Lovely.
At the end they say total end apocalypse or whatever they usually say. More incest, question mark. True, did she want to fuck her brother? Does Miki want to fuck her? We never know, Elitery.
Well, there is a scene where she goes in to kiss him, so probably.
True, later, and then Miki freaks out, but is he freaking out because he doesn't want to be confronted with what he wants or because he doesn't want it? Oh my goodness, Elitery. And they're also twins. We've seen Jamie and Cersei before, Elitery.
Yep.
Also, I've got, she's whoring, Elitery, with a big question mark, but later we find out she's just whoring to, get his attention or something.
Yep.
Now, that was crazy. But also, she was flirting. That was kind of cute. The music teacher is hitting on Miki. True, there's this old dude music teacher that's trying to fuck Miki.
It is true. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's the reading, but it is the way that it comes across, at least when you're watching it initially.
He touched his lower back or something.
I think the point is that it's we're seeing it through the sister's perspective. Yeah.
Yes, maybe. But I don't know, these teachers, I don't trust them.
True. We don't see many of them. We see 3 of them, and one of them's gone now. He got scared by the sister. No, one of them got killed or something. Or he committed suicide or something, didn't he? Or or am I mixed up with
No,
one
he got pushed down the stairs, and they're like, "Oh, we
True.
heard you something about the stairs. Did you jump?" he jumped the leader.
Yep.
Girl on girl, now guy on guy. Oh my goodness, I was so excited for our first gay relationship since they weren't going all the way with Sayunji and Toga. She pushed that boy away. True. I don't think that was the teacher. Maybe she pushed another guy away when he saw me. It was interesting because it is a big recontextualization because the whole time, especially with her scene with Toga earlier, we were like, the brother is the one that's upset about that. But no, it was their sister too. Crazy. Yep. Oh my god, we're catching up with the red guy. How exciting. True, I was excited, but we weren't. We just saw a shot of him, Illyri. I'm so excited to see my favorite red guy come back.
He's brooding there in this he's
so depressed, Illyri. He got beaten by a girl. It's kind
of awesome. Just like how I don't know how to he's such a presence in those first arc, I guess. Yeah. He's just nothing. He's just there, like an object.
It's like are all of the student council gonna have to fight a bunch of Rose boys at the end, Illyri? But no, Illyri. But that'll be for the next arc. Don't worry, we're gonna get an awesome epic scene.
Yep.
I just can't wait for the great face turn for the great red guy. There's so many characters now. True, I'm just reveling in how many characters we've got now. We can just cut to different thingies.
Well, I guess I'm going to ask... Actually, let me ask at this point. You don't go into detail yet, but do you have one of these fights or characters that you've been like, oh, this is my favorite of these duels? Not duels, but episodes focused on a character?
The Wakaba episodes were probably the best ones.
Okay.
But I do like the sister. She's got cool hair. And the other ones. Let's see. Mitsuru. We love that little kid. I don't know if any of my favorite stuff is necessarily him being a Rose boy, though.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't remember any other ones.
Okay, we'll get to it when we get to it. All right, keep going.
Oh, true.
Ow.
Now, stop hitting yourself, Illyri. My goodness. Those student council members couldn't use their own hearts. What the fuck does that mean?
I actually have no idea. Oh, wait, because when they pull the sword out?
No, Illyri. This is Mikage shit-talking them. Because then the next note is the prince wants to be the Rose Bride or something. But no, Mikage just wants to make him the Rose Bride or something. And for that, we got to kill that no-good Anthe, which is actually just the same person. That's crazy. But yes, he's saying the student council couldn't beat Utena because they couldn't use their own hearts. And maybe that is why everybody's got to use the sword from their own. Now, what does the wife use any swords, Illyri? Does she? I don't remember her ripping
Fiance
a sword out.
The first fight? I don't remember, actually. I'm not sure.
Because we go episode by episode and each student council member gets their swords written out. Oh my goodness, Toga gets written out by one of the Stooges. That was crazy, Illyri. We love the Great Stooge too. That was a good one.
That is true, yeah.
We'll get to that. But true. Choo-Choo is at war with a fly. I don't actually remember this, but I bet it was funny.
Yeah, I don't remember it either. I remember that episode where Choo-Choo gets blown up into a balloon by Mikage. That was crazy.
True, that wasn't cool, but also he was just lazing about.
And Utena's holding him like a balloon. It's like, Choo-Choo, you silly guy. I'm like, oh my god, would you just realize how he did that?
Busts him or something. He pulls on his tail and he deflates or something. I remember about this Choo-Choo, Illyri. He would be a difficult pet to have. First of all, he gets crumbs everywhere. The great Utena.
Yeah.
But also, Utena cares more than Anthe because Anthe doesn't care about Choo-Choo. So note that.
Well, Choo-Choo's her only friend.
Evil. No, Anthe is evil. That's a fake friendship. That's what they said in the first part, that friendship was fake or something. No, that was Toga and the Sayunji guy. That friend. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
What the frickin' hell was I saying? Choo-Choo as a pet, Illyri, because you think this Choo-Choo seems to have a bit of autonomy. You can leave him alone and, he can get on by himself. He's like a low-maintenance pet, even lower than a cat or something. But then you realize this fucking idiot gets lost all the time and you gotta go looking for him. So Choo-Choo sucks as a pet.
True. It's kind of funny. I like him.
True. Well, of course we love Choo-Choo.
Oh, and then also,
Illyri, so I look down.
I'm a genius, and I'm not a genius at all, but I watched both the sub and the dub, and it made me finally realize that Choo-Choo is actually the Japanese way of saying squeak squeak. So he's a mouse.
Yes, idiot. What, have you never heard a Pikachu trivia video before? Of course that's what that means.
I've never, but I learned it, and
it's
I'm
like
very
in
proud to
the
share
One
it.
Piece where the One Piece sub where the dog from the Buggy episodes makes a really weird noise, but that's like the noise Japanese people think dogs make.
Yep, right.
It's not a bark, Illyri. It's like some sort of sound that sounds like chew or something. It's fucking stupid. These Japanese don't know what they're talking about. Mouses go squeak, squeak.
True.
Stupid. Anyway, the sister is harassing the music teacher. She's protective of Miki after all. True. Oh my god, new sudden student council summon Nanami. True, she was there, Illyri. Were you freaking out?
She's taking over her brother's role. It's awesome. Yeah, I love her.
It is awesome. And they had a slightly different speech, I think. We've gone from the egg to the cage. True.
It's funny because it's I can't tell if it's her just messing it up, trying to do the speech, or if it's just a different thing. But It is very
But
funny.
true, it's like, but this is representative of the rose garden that Auntie's in. Like, she broke out of the egg, but now she's stuck in a cage because she's a little bird. But you got to break out of the cage, literally. So when Auntie does her full heel turn, she's going to say, I hated roses the whole time. And she's going to break the cage with her sword. And then she'll be free. And Utena's going to put her back in the cage. What an evil Utena.
Yep.
The sister has great gaping Griffith mouth. It's very affecting. True, I don't remember exactly what this looks like, but there's like a mouth that Griffith makes when he's like all fucked up at the end of the Golden Age. And he like, the way he holds his mouth, the sister had it exactly like that. And I said, whoa, that's like a very emotive face.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I can't even remember what it looks like too much either, but it's like open mouth.
All right, cool.
But it was epic. It was great. It was the not catharsis, the pathos for the whole episode. She dates boys he disapproves of to keep his attention, but because of Anthe, it isn't working anymore. But he only likes Anthe because she reminds him of his sister. True, it's like a circle, Alidori.
Yeah, exactly. This is like her elevator thing. Like this is her core thing about, dating people to get her brother's attention. True.
The music keeps getting corrupted on God. I don't know. This must have been with the notes or something. And the sword came out of his heart. True, that did happen. This was the first one. And she was playing piano. It was crazy, Alidori. That was like all he ever wanted.
Yep.
The shadows are more involved again. I don't know what that means, Alidori, but it meant something.
Yep.
So the deaths are for every fight, I'm realizing. And they all want to kill the Rose Bride. Stakes are going up. Anthe drinking the milk. True, there's like milk on the table or something. And Anthe like drinks it at one point. That's crazy.
That's definitely something Anthe would do.
Yes, it's more of her aloofness, or is it intentional? Or you can never get a read on this Anthe. She's all right afterwards. Siblings are like the moon. True, there was something about the moon, and probably the shadows were talking about the moon or something.
Well,
but
no.
siblings like the moon. You don't even look at them because they're always there, but sometimes you look over and it gives you great comfort.
There are lessons that Utena has received from Akio about astronomy because he has the observation deck. I'm assuming this is one of them where she's parroting some of Akio's lessons.
Yes, he must say that. And because also he's got a sibling called Anthe. That's crazy. Now, but true, this is about the siblings, because also, not the siblings, the twins, because also you see their bedroom, they're sleeping next to each other, Alidori. That's not allowed, because, you know, they want to fuck each other. But also, like, on their headrests or whatever, the thing above their beds, it's got, one of them's got a moon and sun, I think. So, you know, it's something crazy, but true. Sometimes you take for granted a thing and you want their attention, but, you know, something, the moon's always there to be gazed upon. Just like your siblings are always there, Alidori. How nice.
Thank you, Akio.
Incest with Choo Choo.
What?
Because this is also the episode where they talk about Choo Choo and changing his name or something.
What? I have no idea what you're talking about. The animal, Choo Choo, the pet?
Yes, Choo Choo, and they talk about how, like, somebody says it differently in the episode, and then Anthe's like, oh, I like the way that's said now. Should we change his name from CHU to CHOO to CHOO?
I wonder what they adapted this in the dub. I don't remember any of this. What?
Well, that's crazy, Alita. You're watching the inferior version and it's affected our great discussion and you should be reprimanded. Now, but then she says something about this to the brother at the end, I think. And that's why I said incest, because they go to talk about like the different ways of saying it or something.
You're not talking about when Anthe shows up at the end with Akio. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, because in that scene, that has nothing to do with Choo Choo. In that scene, she says Choo Choo because it's squeak squeak. It's like she's the little mouse to the brother. She's the Choo Choo to... Oh, that's what you were trying to say. Okay, yeah. She is the Choo Choo to Akio's Anthe. Like, Akio is Anthe in that situation, and she is the Choo Choo. I understand what you're saying, yeah. The dub doesn't... They adapted it saying squeak squeak. Yeah.
But also, there is definitely a conversation before this between... I can't remember which character it would be, because it can't be Utena, but it's somebody that's just met Choo Choo. So maybe it was the sister, because they do have some scenes with the sister at the beginning. So I think the sister says, like, oh, is it... She says the name wrong, and then Anthe says, actually, I like that, the way you said it wrong.
Maybe. Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, that is true.
See, I'm always right in the end.
Yeah, well done.
But that's all I have for that episode. So if you got something about that great jewel, Alidori, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Nope.
Oh my goodness, episode 16, Alidori. Namini's got an uncle? What does that mean? They're throwing a party or something, I think.
Yes.
And Namini got a gift from... Is this
she
the
gets
new
a
one?
cowbell. Oh my
one?
goodness, she gets crazy. A Sebastian Dior cowbell from Anthe.
Is Sebastian Dior the real Dior thing, Alidori?
I have no idea.
They made up for Utena. Oh,
it sounds like it is, right?
But then it was Kabaustian Mio or something, Alidori. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Now that's crazy. That's for cows.
Yep.
Girls
I've googled
love
it.
stylish.
Sebastian Dior is not a real thing.
Well, what's the Dior guy's real name then?
How do you know it's a guy? It could just be a thing, a word.
No, it's obviously all companies are named after
Christian
dudes,
Dior.
Larry. Oh my god. So we did change it for copyright reasons. So we got a Google on Google.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Girls love stylish outfits and expensive jewelry. I don't know if this is me commenting on that's why this is in Utena,
I have something
or if
before
this is
all
something
of this.
Namini says. Oh, go ahead.
There's the scene at the beginning of this episode where it's like Anthony is staying up late watching television on this little like portable TV thing.
True, and Utena tells her to shut up.
Yeah, and it's like weirdly normal and mundane of her, which is just sitting there like
true.
watching. I'm like, oh, but I guess it ties in at the end because it's like what inspires her to buy the cowbell for Nanami. But yeah.
Well, she didn't buy it for Namini. She bought it for
Yeah,
Numini or something.
Yeah.
But that is crazy.
Well,
I didn't think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Or did she, Alita? Oh my god, you just let it slip that
No, I was
she's
gonna say
truly
she
evil?
bought it for her pet cow, also called Nanami.
No, it's Nanamumi.
True, maybe.
Wait, how did they just have her say moo in all the words in the dub?
For what? Like in the parts where she's acting like a cow? Yeah. What they say in the Japanese?
Well, I think it was just they just repeated the O's a bunch. But I don't know. It sounded cool.
Yeah.
Girls love stylish outfits and expensive jewelry, Aliri. The cow insert shot and the sound cue is great. True, they did it a bunch where it was just like a shadow of a cow and then it said moo and it would like get further away, I think.
Yep.
Uten is the greatest. They're doing the silhouette thing with the cowbell lamau. It must have been
there was the whole scene where Nanami, I don't know if this is what you're talking about. Nanami has a whole dream, and it's like a cow silhouette flashback thing in the style of Utena's flashback, with like the prince and all that.
I think so. And
her shadow person is like a cow, and then it's like a whole dream where like Toga ends up cooking and eating her, and it's like it's crazy. And she's eating
there was
breakfast.
Seared steak. She just wants to be eaten by her older brother. If you know if you know what I'm smelling.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
And the episode song. Oh, true. There was an episode song specifically for like the cow sequence or something instead of because there was no jewel in this one. That was great.
Yeah.
They interacted with the shadows. You reap what you sow. Mouse and cats. Remember this one, Aliri? Because I'm
absolutely not. Oh yes. Oh my goodness, I do remember this one. It's a great one. This is where it's like there's a family of mice, but there's a cat that's chasing them. But then one of the mice like betrays them and goes to the cat and is like, "There's the mice are there. Spare me and go kill them." And then the cat eats them first, and it's like, "Oh my goodness." It was crazy.
But I think the mouse still gets eaten in the end, and that's Namini. She set the trap, but she fell for the stylish thing. Then now she's not stylish.
Now she's a cow. Yeah.
And cows are girls that are annoying. That's what you call your annoying girl cousin when you're like 8 because you're not allowed to call her a dumb bitch, Alita.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I think this is the first episode without a student council scene. True, and I don't think there was one. Well, it was without the entrance. And I don't think they did it again in these episodes. But they did have student council scenes, of course. Namini's a real cow. True, it was a cow named Namini.
She turns into an actual cow at the end.
Oh my god, I predicted it later. I said, now that's passive aggressiveness. I didn't even know what I was saying at the time, but that's true. What a great episode, Alita.
So I have a few things.
Great gag to point out?
One of them is when Nanami puts her cowbell on and everyone's like whispering behind her back and she says, "I'm the talk of the school. My impeccable fashion sense is the center of attention." I'm like, true, that's a good point, Nanami. Then there's I wonder, hopefully it's in the sub as well. The sub and dub are really close in terms of dialogue, so I'm sure it's there too. But like, there's a bit where Utena is the only person to call out Nanami for wearing this cowbell, and she's like, "You look dumb," or whatever. And then Nanami crushes her and comes with a great comeback and makes fun of her male school uniform. That is also like equally
your dumb
weird.
uniform, idiot.
It's like, damn, that's a good point.
Utena's like, yeah, it looks weird, duh.
Yeah.
But yes, obviously Utena looks weird. But it is funny. Utena's obviously stupid, so she wouldn't understand. Like, she doesn't understand that it looks weird, and she's not making a statement, Aliri. She just likes it. Okay.
That's right. True.
Well, she is kind of making a statement. She wants to be a prince. But, not a statement in that fashion.
That's right.
Fashion, Alita.
Nanami becomes more relaxed like a cow. She's lying around. She's eating more food.
She's eating more. She's going to get fat. There's a joke in the last episode about her putting on some pounds.
That's right. And then Utena wins the duel by knocking the cowbell off Nanami's chest. So there is a duel in this.
True, and because he does the red thing. Cows and bulls don't like red things, Alita. I learned that in Pokemon.
And Nanami just coincidentally... no, not Nanami. Anthe had one of those coincidentally. Well, bad timing.
True, she was making up... This bitch Anthe is evil. Now, also, there's a great shot where they show up and, like, Uten is there to say, "Bitch, take that cowbell off." And Anthe and Mizuki or whatever are just sitting on the hay thing, like, acting like nothing's happening. It was fucking great. What a great shot.
Yep. And then my final note is that at the end of this episode, Nanami gets a nose ring, but we never see it, so we don't know what it looks like.
True, because it happened all over again, because Anthy wanted to get a nose ring for this great cow.
Yep.
The point is, Namini never learns. Unbelievable.
True.
Or does she in that last episode, Alira? We can discuss. Episode 17, Alira. It's that no good man stealing lesbian. True!
Yes. This is the episode about Shiori, which is Juri's friend.
True. This is like the greatest backstory in the first part. So, oh my goodness, she was back, and can you believe it? She broke up with that boy.
Yeah, true. This is one of my favorites. It's this and the Wakaba one are my two favorites, I think. I really like this one.
The Wakaba one's a two-parter, bro. This shit's crazy.
True.
Oh my god, Namini has the stopwatch while they're interrogating Miki. True, he's on the stand because he got fucked over because he's a weakling, and they're all making fun of him. And also, so I think this is supposed to be a sex allegory, right? Because every time they're like, they blush when they get found out of like, oh, did it happen to you or something?
Mm.
And then like, it's like, how did it feel? And obviously it's like pulling the sword out, Alira. You know what we're talking about with swords, Alira. That's a penis. But also it's getting pulled out. So that's kind of the opposite. Usually get put in for sex, Alira. Take some notes. And but it's like the same thing. And also they like moan as they pull it out, and it's this big and they do it to the person they love. And Toga, when it happened to him, had his like shirt unbuttoned, and that was sexy, Alira. So it's sex or something.
Yeah, I think it's meant to be a moment of intimacy. I think that's what it is, which could be a sex thing, but yeah.
But also they like blush, you know.
Did you just unplug your mic? Oh my god, Kyle's gone.
Yeah, just hit my leg back. And then it just went off.
Yep.
So it wasn't unplugged, Leary. You're bad at investigation.
Yep.
But true, we were jumping ahead because they each have individual moments where they blush because they got fucked over. Yeah. But they are making fun of Miki now because he's the only one. And she had the stopwatch, Leary.
It is true. And at one point, I don't remember for this episode or another, but Nanami specifically calls out Miki and is like, why do you do this stopwatch thing? And he doesn't answer. And I guess we'll
yes.
But,
and you were speculating about that. True.
Yeah. Now, one thing to say at the beginning of this is that last time there was the whole thing with miracles, and we got the whole Juri flashback last time, or backstory, I guess is more so what to say. This time I think I have a much clearer understanding of it. So I think what's happening is that Juri, basically at this point, she hates miracles because of the fact that her friend, Shiori, who we see in this episode, used to tell her back in the day, believe in miracles and they will know your feelings. So whenever her friend would tell her that, she would just be really upset because to her, to Juri, the miracle she wanted, which is romantically getting with her friend Shiori, was the thing that like could never happen. And it was the thing that her friend kept telling is going to happen if you keep believing in miracles.
No, Alita.
But it's a thing that never came true.
But you're off.
All right, go ahead. What is it?
Well, no, because when she used to say that, it actually did give her hope that they would get together.
Yeah.
It wasn't until she did that and then kissed that boy and left that her heart was broken.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, which is the irony is that it's the friend who is telling her that miracles are going to happen, and it's the friend who makes it never happen. So it's just a sad, I like it a lot, but yeah, cool.
And then she finds out in this episode, Illyri. That was crazy.
It is very crazy. Now, I don't know what, because I have some stuff here as well. There's have we talked about, I guess first she comes back, Shiori, and they have an interaction with Juri and all that. But then there's a very sad scene.
She watches a fencing game.
She does, yeah. But there's a very sad scene here, which is that Juri and Shiori like have a scene together just alone. And Shiori is apologizing to her about taking the person she loved away from her. But it's so sad because it's like in this moment, everything she is saying here, this apology is nothing. It has nothing to do with it at all what Juri is feeling. And she can't say it because, like, obviously, you know, girls loving girls. You know, we can't have that in the world of Utena, at least at this point. So it's just so sad. I'm like, oh my goodness, she can't say anything here.
And she even says it. She says, I never had any feelings for that boy, and she like reacts. But also from Shishori's perspective, or whatever her name is, she's probably like, oh, she's just saying that. She doesn't know Alita.
Yeah.
She's not clued in.
Yep.
But Alita, before all that bird freaking died.
The one that hits the window or whatever?
Yeah, it hits the window and then it's on the ground and it's not moving.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
What? That's not cool.
Well, I mean,
I don't like
it might not be dead. It might just be paralyzed and then starved to death, right?
Oh, well, that makes it much better, Alita, you idiot. Yeah. But aren't birds what's on the table at the end of this? No, or is it the...
I don't remember.
What's on the table?
I think it's was it a neck? No, it wasn't a necklace. It was the pin or like it had a thing. It was like a leaf or something. I remember this. It was like a thing.
No, that's the Wakaba one, you idiot.
No, the Wakaba one is the pin that Souji made. This one is a very similar kind of thing of I'm not going to be able to tell, but it was like a leaf or something. It wasn't the Wakaba thing there. It was something else. I don't know.
It might have been a leaf in a picture frame or something, or is that just something that's in the elevator? I can't remember, but we'll get to it.
Yeah, who knows?
Because I've got notes, Alidori, and I'm sure I probably wrote it down somewhere, but I'm not going to read them ahead of schedule. So we're going to go to the next one, which says, "Such innocence can hurt other people." Wow, that's like deep. I feel like somebody says this to Utena, and she like says, "Wah."
There's a moment when Juri says to Utena, she says that Utena is basically saying Shiori has a special place in her heart for you, Juri, which is obviously the complete opposite of what Juri's perspective is.
Utena's trying to bring them back together, but she's stupid, this dumb Utena.
Yeah, and she says, you're much like Shiori, so unintentionally cruel, which is true. Sad.
True. And, ignorance can hurt other people, Alidori. That's crazy.
Yep.
The rose needs to transform into a black rose. True. We see it and how it hasn't properly transformed yet. And that Mikage guy might say something like, we need to poison it more or something because he's a no good bad guy. Mm-hmm. She hated Juri. She says in the confessional booth, Juri was at the tomb. Oh, this was a confusing little bit of shot composition. That's not what it's called, Alidori. But there's like, it's doing one of the things where Utena starts doing where it like skips a scene because you know exactly what's going to happen. And it skips to her going to confront Juri, but Juri's like standing in the like door frame. So I thought Juri had like shown up at the tomb, but that's not what had happened to Alidori. But true, in the confessional booth, she says she used to hate Juri for being so cool, and that's why she had to take that man's from her.
So you're talking about the elevator, right? That's what you're saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah, to me, I mean, that's the gist of it, kind of. But the thing I like about this scene a lot, more so than all the ones so far, is that it's the utter frustration and insanity of someone who both hates and loves someone at the same time. Like, there are elements of Juri that she loves, and she says that. But there are also elements of her that she hates. Yeah, true, yeah.
And Alidori's hidden gay undertones, too.
Amen. Shiori, let me actually see what I have quite a lot of notes, but I'm not sure what they are. Yeah, it's what you said. Like, Shiori hates Juri for being better than her, for prettier than her, more popular than her, so on and so forth. And she dates the guy to kind of take something away from her, to prove that, like, there are some things that she can actually do that Juri can't. And she has, like, I love this quote here, which is that I needed to change the balance of our friendship. And that's what, like, taking the guy was. And I like that. And she said, I just have a bunch of quotes, I think. But yeah, go ahead.
I think with all of these, I think they're all really good. Because I feel like they're all very petty, but they're all very relatable.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like everybody views them... Because I think part of the point is that, like, not all of them are true. Like, in this one, it's very obviously not true. Like, her perception of her relationship with Julie is obviously not Juri's perception. Lesbians, Alita, you understand.
Yeah.
But it's always like a relatable thing where like the truth almost doesn't matter because it's just about like ego or like proving yourself or something. And I think that was and I liked that in every one of the elevator scenes.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that actually. Yeah, true. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I needed to change the balance of our friendship. Now she and I are equal. No, I've beaten her. I'm the one who's always been there in her heart. I've beaten her in the end. This stuff is like,
true, that was at the very end.
It's so good because of like, it is kind of what you're saying, where it's like it's so needlessly cruel to say this, but it's also at the same time, it's like, she doesn't really mean this. She just hates her friend at the moment. But at the same time,
she also feels she was aggressed upon by being inferior. So she like sees it as like a revenge.
Yeah. But it's also a thing where it's like, if these two were to talk, this isn't the genuine feeling I think she has. Or it is the genuine feeling she has, but it's like a thing that she could easily overcome if they did talk about this like properly, I think. I don't know. It's weird to, I don't know how to express it, but I like it. I like the fact that she's so mean in these moments of like, I've beaten her, like I am better than her, like I was always there in her heart, like I'm glad she was suffering all this time. Knowing my friend's secret turns everything I felt around so vulnerable, just like me. I don't know, all this stuff is really good. Why wouldn't you admit how you feel?
Like, yeah, like her figuring out like the lesbian thing, it's not even that, like she just plugs it back into her like insecurity or inferiority where it's like, oh, well, that means I actually win because she like loved me or whatever. So that was cool too.
That's right.
Oh my god, look at this, Illyria. It says birds on the table this time, so it looks like you're wrong.
Okay. I actually don't remember that. Yeah, I thought it was something else.
They retrieve the
but
swords
before all
from
this,
the people.
Wait a minute. I don't know what point it comes up. You almost certainly have this in your notes, so maybe continue.
Oh my goodness. I have they retrieve the swords from the people that love them. which is what I figured out. Now that's
Mhm.
crazy. They cut the Dios thing coming down and the desks coming together. True, and that's all my notes. So whatever
Oh,
you
wow.
thought, I thought you didn't have.
Somehow you left this out, which is that when Shiori gets the locket or whatever you call it with the little picture inside, and she reveals to Juri that she has it during this like arena where she's being evil and Black Rose like and all that. Or wait, not during that. Wait, when does she? Whenever she goes to actually take the sword from her, she says like, "Oh, you know, if you'd asked Juri, I'd have given you a nicer picture." And the implication is that like she would have given like a naked picture or something like that. And she's like teasing her.
I didn't think that.
Well, I think that's what happened. She's being cruel in that moment of like teasing her and being like, "Man, you know, I would have given you a nicer picture, Juri." At least in the dub, that's how they do the interpretation there.
Interesting. I thought it was like I don't know. That's like a scene that's in things. Like that's like a trope. It's like why would you? I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a why would you like that picture? Or it's like a self-deprecating thing almost to me, where it's like
yeah, that's the plain reading. I would agree with that. If there are ways to interpret it that way, yeah.
But I didn't think she was talking nakedly. They don't take naked pictures. This is the 90s.
Well, I took it. This is an extension of the scene in the elevator where she is so happy and to rub it in Juri's face of like, I was always in your heart, you know. Yeah, you know, I would have given you a naked picture, man. You know, it ties into that, I think. But
I don't know, Leader. You're over there with your dub interpretations. I don't know how seriously we can take you.
I don't know how seriously I can take your interpretation because you don't even speak Japanese. You're reading these words off a screen that some person 25 years ago wrote down and probably didn't have the internet to check things.
You can't even take my interpretation seriously. It's only my first time watching. I just always lose. Yep. Oh my goodness.
But you also
remember nothing and you're stupid, so I actually win.
You also didn't talk about the ending scene, which is like a tragic ending of Juri just once again accepting Shiori back. And then the last thing she thinks to herself is like, why can't I be stronger? Yeah, she just accepts her back in the
True,
end.
I do remember that line.
Yeah.
But are they just hanging out as friends? Is that where we're going to see him in a few episodes?
Well, I guess I don't know what happens in the future, but at the end of this, it is like they just kind of are friendly again. It's like, oh, that's so sad.
Interesting. I believe it.
Yep, that's episode 17.
And now we've got the great episode 18. Is this going to be Wakaba?
This is Mitsuru. And this has some good stuff in this. The guy, Nanami's little boy.
The great Mitsusuki. We love this guy. Why do they blush when Nanami asks if it hurts when they get a sword pulled from them? Oh, this is a sex thing, Alita. We already talked about this. Choo, true, because Nanami was last, so she was shit-talking them. She said, I'd never let this happen to me. And guess what, Alita? It's this very episode. Choo conquered a snail. And then was conquered. True, by a frog. There was like a snail that he like beat up, and then there was a frog.
Yep.
Now I think this is a reference to that Japanese rock paper scissors thing. That's a big part of Naruto, where it's snakes, frogs, and slugs, and like frogs beat snakes, snakes beat slugs, and slugs beats or something. I think I got the order wrong, but Choo was in the place of snakes, I guess.
Wonderful.
You don't know Japanese culture like me, Alita.
Apparently you don't either.
Now.
But yeah, true.
Oh, what did I say that was wrong?
I don't know. You were very unconfident in that explanation, but that's okay.
Well, I don't remember if I got the game wrong, Alita. Oh, the game... At least I know it's scissors, paper, rock. I might not know that scissors beats paper, but I know that rock doesn't beat scissors.
Scissors obviously beats paper. But you can intuit that. Yeah.
No, you can't. Oh, so you're saying the Japanese are just stupid. They made up an intuitive thing that obviously frogs can beat snakes. Duh.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Now they're eating bananas and indirect kisses, Alita. What the fuck?
Wait, we're missing all the good stuff in this episode, which is that it's actually about Mitsuru's friend, who's a year older than him, who's called Mari.
True.
And she's awesome.
She's a
like,
girlfriend.
Yeah, kind of. It's a girl that like probably likes him.
His girlfriend.
Yeah.
But that is the indirect kiss was that part, and eating bananas. Oh yeah, because she says like eating bananas is like naughty or something, and he doesn't get it or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they're watching this kiss porno in this great big theater, Alita. That wasn't cool. And then I don't know what maybe they were drinking a thing, and they nearly had an indirect kiss, and that's of course a great Gunbuster reference.
Or a great everything in Japanese reference.
That is true. The Japanese seem to like this. I did date a Chinese girl for a little while that said something like this, Alita, so I'm predicting that it's just an Asian thing. Thoughts?
Wow. I have no idea.
Alita, no biggie, but I did indirect kiss that girl.
Oh, no.
Pretty cool. The evil Utena looking guy is stealing Nanami from Surabuki. True, this fucking prick.
This
is an easy one to figure out, Alita.
That's right.
True, the pink-haired guy. This episode is all about innuendo. The boys are listening. What does that mean?
I'm assuming Nanami's boys, the 3 nerds that follow her around.
True, these stooges suck. But they would be elephants.
But they were,
buddy.
yeah, exactly.
Cool.
They're really good.
Shut up, Elitari. I know everything about the elephant gags. What does it mean to be a grown-up? True, Elitari. Is it experiences? Is it literally growing up? Is it, there was some other hypotheses here.
Mushoku Tensei has a piece on this, I'm sure.
We don't like Mushoku Tensei. And we certainly don't agree with its opinions. Even the shadows think it's about sex. It's all about blood. What do you think the shadows are doing?
What on earth are you talking about? I have no idea.
Blood. They were giving blood or something?
That's right. Where there was like a euphemism or whatever, and they kept implying that it was something worse, but in the end, they're like, what do you mean? I'm just talking about giving blood.
It was about blood, true. You give somebody something that they will truly cherish.
Yeah.
True, something. We love these great shadows. Now, Elitari, importantly, the most important thing last time is one time we did see one of them have real-life human girl arms, and we did not get any indication of anything of the
still don't
such
remember that
this time. So, who knows? And then my last note for this whole episode, Elitari, is chocolate. There was a little guy within a big guy holder. Oh, this is the chocolate is on like the desk.
Yeah, because that was the indirect kiss, was the chocolate.
Oh, true. And then he threw the chocolate away because he thought chocolate was like being kiddie.
Maybe, yeah.
And then Utena, or somebody says, when you're a kid, you just want to be an adult. And when you're an adult, you just want to be a kid. And, that's like deep, Elitari.
Amen.
Did you have other things for this episode?
My only note was very
Utena didn't want to fight him.
Utena doesn't want to fight anyone except for the guy.
No, he loved beating up. She loved beating up those bitches, but Wakaba was a big problem, Elitari.
That's right. But his elevator thing, just to make it clear, it was like the being with Nanami isn't enough anymore. He was happy with that in the past, but he's not now. Even now, his like friend is like making fun of him for not being old enough, and this other guy is getting Nanami because he's not old enough, and he just wants to grow up. And that's just my one note. But now, we have episode 19, which is about Wakaba's Onion Knight, Tatsuya.
Can you believe the great Wakaba? Now, Elitari, the opening shot of this is like a castle and her like flashback. And it was just like Vampire Hunter D's opening shot.
Yep.
You didn't know about that.
No, you're right.
I just needed to flex. Choo-Choo is in love with this no good playboy. What does that mean?
Yeah, Choo-Choo's like has a crush on this Onion Knight. He's like blushing and stuff.
True. I do remember now. Also, this no good playboy was green. So I really thought that like they were going to go through with it.
Mm-hmm. Like as the Saga.
Because Wakaba likes green guys, of course.
Have we? Do you have any notes on the flashback? Because I think the flashback's very cute.
She said, "Don't make fun of her onion hair."
Yeah, like the idea is that like everyone was making fun of her for looking like an onion, and she you know what her response was? She's like, you know what? I don't care because I have the Onion Knight to protect me, and she just pulled this random guy, and it's like he's gonna protect me. It was very cute. And she said like everyone else had like pumpkin heads or something. And I was like, that's very funny.
True, big fat pumpkin heads. Now,
but wait. Just more on this though, because you probably don't have specific notes on this. It is really good though. All the Wakaba stuff is really good, but it is the fact that like he doesn't remember this at all. And later on, it's like that thing you called me, the Pumpkin Prince or whatever, and it's like he gets the thing wrong, it's like completely, and it's like not even he's the Onion Knight, not the Pumpkin Prince. And it's so sad because to her it was such a special memory, but he didn't even care. Like he didn't even think about it. I don't know. It was just really sad. Small thing.
And she didn't even like him anyways, but we'll get to that, Elitari.
Yeah.
Now, also, he had been going to the school and he just wanted to get her attention or something, and that's why he pretended to like the great revolutionary girl Utena.
That's right.
Now that's kind of crazy. But also, Wakaba was upset that he didn't remember her.
Yep.
And this feeds into her being like a side character, and that's probably what she was mad about. She talks tough, but she's still a girl. Truly, or these bitches be weak.
Sometimes everyone is weak.
That was a quote, Elitari, from Utena. Now, Utena is so she just is so smart when it comes to the great Wakaba.
What?
She knew exactly what she wanted.
Okay.
Well, I guess she didn't in the end because she didn't want this dude.
Yep.
Anyway, Utena's a dumb bitch. Wakaba too leaves a note. Oh, that was funny because like, what a great subversion. But then they like double back on it later because you know how every time they leave a note in the locker, it's like, engaged, bitch. I'm gonna kill you. Meet me at the place. And this time it was Wakaba saying, Utena, you're a no good lady. And she's like thanking her kind of. But also, this is just a part of a bigger twist because next episode, because you're thinking, oh no, Wakaba might be the rose person, but then no, there's like, oh, she's not going to be. She's left a silly note in place of the thing. But then the next episode, she really was a Leroy. That was fun, crazy.
Yep.
You can't eat tires, silly. Oh, this was the Shadows Elitery, I believe. They were talking about eating tires or something.
Yep, that's right.
They kicked him out for being a good person. True. Then we were like, oh my god, we're going to fight a boy. Well, I guess we just fought a little boy. Yep. But then that wasn't the case. He couldn't go deeper. His choice was not to revolutionize the world, and that was kind of a crazy subversion.
Yeah, the elevator doesn't crash this time. It's kind of crazy.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even notice. This guy just jumped out and didn't say the line, and then I said, wow, that's not going to be the thing.
And he says in the elevator, no matter what happens, she'll come back to me in the end because I love her. True love always wins out in the end, doesn't it? Wow.
What a stupid guy. What a dummy. What a no good idiot.
That's right.
And then, my very last note is in all caps. It says, now that's what you call a crazy twist on a buck and a stack, Alita. Yeah. We had a green boy in the apartment and he'd been living there since he got kicked out.
That's right. It is a crazy twist.
He was so mean to the great Wakaba, Alita. And then he's going to be again.
Yeah, even meaner, potentially. I have one more note this episode, which is unrelated. Firstly, just a really good episode. But secondly, Juri made a point where it's like everyone would be happier if they got to choose who they loved. With the implication being that, like, she's talking to the student council people. So it's like, if Nanami loved Mitsuru, her life would be so much easier. If Miki loved his sister, his life would be so much easier. And if Juri just loved the guy, like, then her life would be so much easier.
Well, that was actually interesting, and I'm mad at myself I didn't make a note on this, Alita. But they did a little implication again that, like, Nanami likes Miki again in this scene, I think. Where it was like...
I didn't get that.
She was, like, asking him a question about the music again. And then I almost thought, well, are they trying to say that, like, if Miki liked Namini, then they could be happy or something? I don't know. I'm keeping my eye on this ship, Alita. Now, you haven't seen the movie, so it's going to be confirmed in the movie.
Hey, it might be confirmed in the next set of episodes. I don't remember.
No, Alita. You're always faking how much you misremember. And it's not true. But don't worry. They're a real ship, Alita, and I thought so since the beginning.
Excellent.
Remember last time I said the only real ship was Miki and Anthe, but that's obviously not going to happen because she's evil. So we're back with Namini and Miki. So if they have a kid, Alita, what color hair is it going to have if you mix blue and yellow?
Probably blue.
What?
I don't know. It's like yellow is like bleached or whatever, right? Who knows?
You are no good. I'm supposed to be the one that doesn't know colors. Episode 20, Alita. What a humble little green boy. What does that mean? Oh, we're talking about Sayunji here, who's so humble and thankful, Alita.
Yep. This is potentially the best episode. It's really, 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 really good. This is an all-time great episode.
Is this the one where you said, I'm curious what you think about it earlier?
No, I think that's the next set of episodes in the next arc.
That's what I was thinking originally too. Utena will shine. Oh, the next arc?
Yeah, that's what we were saying, where I said, oh, this is like a moment I really like next arc. I wonder if you'll like it too or not. Yeah.
Anyway. Utena will shine forever, but poor Wakaba can only shine for a moment. True, because she's only going to get 1 or 2 episodes of focus, Alita. It's like meta.
That's right.
That was crazy.
But she stood out far more than Utena because this episode was better than anything Utena did in this.
That's true. That's what she said.
Yep.
It is funny how Utena is like a side character for like all of the like we're focusing on other things and it was kind of the same with the first arc too until the very end.
It's true.
But even for the end, it did feel less Utena heavy. Even her episode fighting the pink guy felt much more like his story. But don't worry, Utena doesn't need to be fleshed out. She's already the best.
Well, the point is that later on we get an interaction with Mikage where he's like, if you ever need any help, I can help you out. And she's like, oh, I'm good. And then he's like, what about people close to you? And she has this whole thing of like, oh shit, like everyone around me has issues, but not me. Yeah.
She's the coolest.
Yep.
I was drinking a liter. You were
so there is also something really cool in this episode, and both of these Wakaba episodes, which is that there's the orange tinted colors a lot of the time, and I think it's really good. Like, firstly, it's a lot of sunsets and stuff, and you're seeing the backgrounds, but even just like in general, there's like a lot of orange tinting to the actual color grading. It's really good. Obviously, Wakaba has orange hair, it makes sense, but I like the way these episodes look. Whatever, orange, brown, what's the difference?
Yeah, you got mad at me for some color thing last time, but Juri's orange hair, obviously.
Right.
Or did I say it was yellow and you said it was orange?
She definitely has orange hair, so I don't know. One of us was wrong.
Oh, yellow hair, obviously. Now, where was I up to, Alita, before you rudely interrupted me? Utena will shine. True. No one can ever be happy in Utena. Oh, true, because I was like, oh my god, they're finally going to be together in love. But then it was revealed that, they're not actually in love.
Yeah.
That's upsetting. Sayunji knows the pink-haired dude. True, he recognized him, Elitari. That was crazy. They had a
Yeah.
talk.
Yep.
That didn't really go anywhere, I guess. But that was
Wait,
crazy
what
in
do
the
you
moment.
mean? Oh, I guess their relationship didn't go anywhere. True.
Oh, yeah. They plant the thingy on Anthe. Not cool. Oh, true.
It's so bad.
This is another thing where it's like, oh, Anthe did it on purpose, Elitari.
Yeah, I have like a whole note on this. Maybe now's a good time to go through it. It is like Anthea's, whether, like, we don't know if it's intentional or unintentional, but it is the influence on their lives. Like, for instance, in the Nanami episode, giving the cowbell. In the jury episode, this is more subtle, but it's like, initially, at the beginning of the episode, you have jury in the sunlit garden, with like the little, that's what they call this place, I guess, but like whatever, the sunlit garden area. And then at the end of that scene, Anthe kind of shows up there while jury is like thinking about her friend. And it's like, oh, that's interesting. Why did Anthe show up here? And then later on in the episode, when the friend shows up for the first time, it's while Juri is fencing. And Juri doesn't notice her until Anthe drops something down. And then that gets Juri's attention. And then Juri notices Shiori. And it's like, oh, this is interesting. Like, Anthe, I don't know if it's intentional or not. But it is like influencing their lives.
Hey, moron! You're supposed to know if it was intentional or not. You've seen the show.
Well, I'm telling you, this is a confusing show for me. So it's very well it is intentional. It's very well it's not intentional. I just don't know. And then in this Wakaba episode, it has like her having the hairpin on that Sayunji was making for her.
This truly is a leader leading me in the wrong direction. He's playing 7D chess here. He remembers everything about Utena. I've got to keep my eye on the ball here. Anthe is not a bad guy. It's just funny that she always does this. Okay. Don't worry, Leary. I'm reconject. I know how to interpret Utena moving forward. Utena can't fight her friend. It's not like she's finna kill her or something. In fact, beating them fixes them. So yeah, she didn't want to fight. That was I was thinking that was a little silly, Leary. But then, don't worry, she won anyway.
That's right.
And Anthe calls out for her to hurry.
Miss Utena! And when Utena is a flip over on top of her or something like that,
God.
right? Awesome.
I cringed just hearing the dub just now. Oh, yuck.
Yeah. You know what I love? I love reading. I love reading my little words at the bottom of my screen. And having to pause a million times and going back and being like, what did that say? Did I understand that? I love being that
That's
person.
for the notes, leadering.
True.
Now, what I love is hearing the sweet dulcet tones of the Japanese language.
Amen.
I love subtitles. They're my favorite. Anthe wants her to... I already said that, Illyri. And then the last thing says, I'm back. And I did that in quotes, so that must have mean I really like this, but I have no memory of it. Did Wakaba say this or something?
Well, it's the episode ends in a very sad tone. Unlike all the other ones, where they all return to normal, this one ends with Wakaba going home, and she's all alone. There is no more Sayunji anymore.
I'm back, and he's not there. Oh my god, Illyri, that was fucking tragic. That's the greatest scene of all time.
Yeah. Now...
And thus ends the best little arc in this whole arc.
Yeah, the stuff I have about this episode, because this is probably my favorite one. We haven't really talked about it enough, but it's like why this is so emotional, at least to me, why it gets to me so strongly, about how it is entirely a one-sided caring. Wakaba housing Sayunji because she has a crush on him, but he clearly, like, in no sense has any crush on her, like, whatsoever.
No, I believed it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. She believed it initially. Like, she was like, oh, you know, we're so close, and, like, maybe he will, like me, and, like, she was about to ask him out on a date and all that, and it's
then
very sad.
He asked about that bitch Anthe.
Yeah, there's a few things. There's, like, this is our secret, mine and his, one that only we share. Now I'm special. As long as I have this secret, yes, I'm special. The fact that, like, she leaves him a note with money for lunch, and it's like, oh, these are, like, super cute things. Especially the money thing, where I'm like, I could imagine from Sayunji's perspective, be like, oh, this is like such a nice friend thing to do. But from her perspective, it's like, this is like, he's gonna love me because, you know, I'm doing things like this. I'm taking care of him. He's gonna love me. But from his perspective, it's like, oh, what a nice friend Wakaba is, and it's so sad.
Boys just are evil. They just take.
Yeah. And then, yeah, like you said, when he's like, oh, can I ask you something? And is like, how's Anthe doing? And you get like this like 2 millimeter like sinking of her eyelids. And it's like, oh, this is really good, like directing or something. Or animation, I guess, of just how sad it makes her, but she tries to hide it as best as she can. Then there's the whole scene of Akio in this episode where he talks about how there's special people, like some people like Utena, for instance, who stands out and is very special all the time, but most people aren't like that. Most people are like Wakaba, who have like their moments where they can capitalize on being special, but eventually they just return to being normal. Yeah, it's sad.
You know, Elitari, Do the people remember the fucking rose thingy they did?
Well, that's interesting. I would say yes, and I have a very clear reason why. I don't know at what point that comes into my notes. I guess we can talk about it now. I think I was just talking about my final bit, but
and they're just choosing to pretend like it never happened, which fits into my going back to the status quo thing.
I think the point is that it's like they are probably very aware of exactly what happened, but they are just returning to normal because it's better to suppress the feelings and just pretend they never happened than to live through them. I think that's exactly what it is. And Anthony gives her opinion at one point. She says, if it's for someone you love, how you feel about the other people doesn't really matter. You keep lying to yourself for as long as it takes. So it's like they haven't even given up hope. They still have those feelings there, and they're just going to keep burying them, and maybe one day they'll try again.
That's like Walter White. Remember when he just kept harassing that lady until he became the husband?
This is beyond my knowledge, but okay, true, maybe.
Walter White has a whole... Well, I think actually Skylar goes on a monologue about how Walter won her over by like getting rejected 5 times and still showing up at the place where she worked as a server.
Maybe.
So you're interpreting it wrong, Alidori. What you're supposed to think is that like eventually all the people will love you if you just keep trying. And persistence is good. And that's because this show is old and we don't think that that's rape like we do nowadays.
I have no idea if this is framed as a good thing. I would probably say, actually, I probably think it's framed as a bad thing. I think it is very sad when you have all these people
this was the joke I'm making, Alidori.
What can I say? You gotta get better at telling jokes.
You need to keep up.
My goodness.
How more subtle can I be than the show you've seen but I haven't, and you still don't get it? My goodness.
Yeah, I just don't like comedy, you know? What can I say? I only like really good comedy. Like in this show when there's a Nanami episode.
Do we have to play the 3-minute compilation of you giggling at everything I say, Alidori? Do you want to hear it again?
I'm laughing at you, not with you.
Sure.
All right, now we have episode 21, which is the Keiko episode, which is Nanami's follower with the funny hair. So
Nanami's... Oh, yes, this one's terrific, Alidori.
It is the one that elevates the most background of background characters into an actual character, which is it's kind of awesome. So yeah.
And the episode even makes the joke about at the end when Anthony has to explain which one's which.
Yes, true. Yes.
Because I never noticed that this one has these little things in her hair, but apparently she did.
Yep. So we start off with a flashback, but who cares about that? We start off with a flashback with a little yellow flower in the corner to indicate that it's a flashback. And that's super cool. I don't know why they do that. They don't ever indicate that it's a flashback beyond just having a little flower there. The flower is completely arbitrary, but it's awesome.
Sometimes there's a little white flower.
Yep.
It's crazy, but true. Oh my god, the Three Stooges have names is my first note.
Go ahead, what are they? Keiko? Go ahead, what are the other two?
One of them started with like a U.
Alright. Yeah, I don't know what they are either.
Oh, well, good job, Alidori. Nice note-taking, idiot. Anthe was sleeping on God. Oh, this is when she fell asleep. That was funny. We still haven't heard this red-haired boy talk. True, they were keeping it, Alidori, the great Toga. We hate that no good Namini. What do you think she did, Alidori?
Well, this is the episode. This is the one that is the worst, which is that she cuts off her friend because she gets close to her brother. When we're positioned to be on the side of the friend, and it's like, oh, Nanami, you're evil. Like you're ruining this girl's life.
She's always evil.
That's not true. She's not always evil, but this time she was
killed
evil.
A cat one time.
Yeah, she was a little kid. Kids make mistakes.
Killing cats?
Yeah, kids can do that, believe it or not.
That's going to result in a beating, Alidori.
True.
I mean, yeah, well, she was evil too, and she got what she deserved.
All right. So Keiko, the main girl of these 3 side characters. I guess her whole story here... Oh no, what? You got something? Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I only have 2 other notes. One of them's Anthe's got an umbrella too.
All right, wonderful.
The umbrellas were on the table.
Then I can talk about my notes, which is that there's a little storyline here of Keiko has a crush on Toga, basically. And the whole reason that she like became Nanami's friend initially was in part like, oh, she had like a cool speech at the entrance ceremony, but also because she was Toga's brother. So by getting closer to Nanami, she would get closer to Toga. And when they're preparing for this party that Nanami is throwing, she gets this she like dresses up in a special way. And she's like, oh, Toga probably won't see it, but if he does, like, that'd be kind of cool.
And her friends are so supportive.
Yeah, exactly. And she's like rollerblading around as well, like in the preparation. That was very funny and a small character thing. She rollerblades. We love that.
I didn't remember that, but okay.
Yeah. And then she dresses up all nice and everything, but she doesn't even end up going to the party because of Nanami. And Nanami's like, nah, you're going to go do paperwork. And it's really sad. And then like even though she does go do paperwork, she actually does have time to come to the party. She like runs back, but then she sees people having fun inside and talking with Toga, and she runs away. And it's like, oh, and she takes off her dress and her hairpins, and Toga never saw it. And it's just so tragic and sad, and I was so emotionally invested in Keiko.
It's deeply upsetting. Now, importantly, she was going to do student council filing, and that was a massive building, Alitori.
Yeah, true. It is a massive building. I feel like
at one point, I don't know
if
it's if it's already happened or if it comes later, but they have a formal name for the student council. It's like the school's council defense something. And I was like, oh, they're like official, Alitori. This is important stuff they doing in the student council meetings.
Yep. They communicate with end
But
of the
it
world.
was fun to see her describe her mistress as an insect, is what the evil guys say at the end. That's my last note, Alitori.
There's the scene where Toga is getting soaked in the rain, and she has to like think about like, oh, do I give the umbrella? Do I not give the umbrella? This is my one chance, but do I do it? Like, and she does it, and it's really cute. And she's walking just in the rain, and all it is an umbrella. Like, it's nothing at all. But Nanami really punishes her for it. It's just so sad. So I feel bad for her. I have a lot of empathy for Keiko here. And I hate Nanami. She's so evil, which is why I love Nanami so much. She's so great.
It was an absolute betrayal. You couldn't believe that this no-good stooge would think she could be friends with the great Toga.
That is Nanami's perspective. Now, in the elevator, I have her like summary of what she says. She says, basically, like I said, she got closer to Nanami so that she could be closer to Toga. But now, because of how close she is to Nanami, she can never actually be close to Toga, because Nanami is fully aware of exactly what's going on. And she says, I'm just some ordinary girl. I thought I could love whoever I wanted to. I'm like, oh, that's so sad. She can't love whoever she wants
ordinary
to.
Ordinary girls don't get nothing. Same with ordinary Ari.
And ordinary Wakaba, true. I'd happily be in this company. True. These poor girls, you know, we're all alike. We're all the same.
Yeah, and I'll hang out with the great revolutionary girl Utena.
No, you'll be there with Toga and Saionji. They would be your crew.
No, not the rape bros. I don't like them.
Yep. She doesn't understand what she's doing to me. She won't even try. I don't know. It's all sad. Just a bunch of sad quotes for Keiko. I love this episode. She's very...
There was... It's with this Swabuki episode in 2 episodes from now or something, where Namini almost has a heart for a little while, but it was definitely not with these girls.
Yep. True.
Oh, and remember her friends pretended not to hear her? That was not cool, Leader.
Yeah, do you hear anything right now? No. Like, wow. These guys, we love it. I've said this every time, I love bullying in movies. Oh my goodness, and TV shows and stuff like that. This didn't exactly
this one was funny, so it's okay.
Yeah, but I love it so much. Anyway, that's that. I don't have anything else on this, but she was awesome.
They're just so captured, Elitari, by Nanami's influence. But then also she goes back to being a subservient stooge at the end. Do you think we're going to get more of this, Illyri? Do you think they're all going to stand against the evil Namini at the climax of the story?
What a great question. Which I can't say anything. Yeah, maybe. Maybe not.
We know you don't know, Illyri. It's okay.
That's so true. Now we have episode 22, which for some reason I actually don't have a section. Oh, sorry. I merged 22 and 23 because they're the 2 Mikage like flashback and fighting episodes. These are basically the same thing in my eyes.
Can you believe there was a finger pointing at things, Illyri?
Yeah, it was super interesting. Do you have any idea why it was pointing at certain things?
Well, in fact, I have a line in my scripted video about this where it's like, you can't tell if it's fucking with you or if you're actually supposed to be paying attention to things because it has such a goofy sound effect and it's like on weird things where you're like, this is just like it being funny with me right now. Yeah. And I'm not going to fall for it. But also, obviously, it was pointing to the moth, which ends up in the elevator thing. And then it's a moth. And then it was pointing at some other things. There was like a cat and there was 2 cats. And then there were some other things, but I didn't write them all down, I don't think.
Oh, don't worry, I wrote them all down. There was a silhouetted cat or a black cat. It was hard to tell. There was tea being poured by Tokiko. There was a
and the lipstick.
Yeah, the lipstick. There was the lipstick mark on Tokiko's used cup. There was a framed butterfly. There was Tokiko and Mamiya in a rose garden. And then there was a framed leaf as well.
Do you think these are all the things he misremembers or something?
I don't think so. I don't actually know what it is, which is kind of cool. Now, there is like certain things in this which are really obvious. Like the lipstick mark on the cup is like he's obviously likes her, or that's getting his attention. Like it is something he's paying attention to.
True, and that's what's on the tables, I'm pretty sure.
The same with like the tea being poured. Like all of these 2 things make sense. The Tokiko and Mamiya in a rose garden, the scene where there's an arrow pointing when he looks at them like talking there, that makes sense. And that's
the most important part.
It is something that he obviously he thinks through when he thinks of Tokiko in the future, because he sees the similar scene with Anthe and Utena later, which is the exact mirror, and he has the same reaction. So it's like that I get why it's there. Now, the framed butterfly and the framed leaf, these are things that we see in the elevator. The butterfly is something that we see later in the elevator, especially with, like, I think we see it with all the characters, but we see it with him especially. Well, actually, there's a thing to say here, which is that I'd have to go back, because I only looked at one elevator scene to just confirm this, but the butterfly in the elevator eventually does cocoon, like we've talked about, like in the same scene. Like, it starts off as a butterfly, and then eventually cocoons into, like, a little cocoon, which is what butterflies do, right? But for his scene...
But then it comes back, doesn't it?
I'm not actually sure. Maybe it might come back, but for his scene, when he's in the elevator, what we see for him seems to me to look like the leaf that we get in this flashback, but in the shape of a cocoon, as though it's like merging the two framed paintings of the butterfly and the framed leaf. Now, it might just be the cocoon, and maybe I'm just overthinking it, but to me, it looked like it was a merging of these two. What does it mean? I have absolutely no idea, but that is certainly there. And the silhouette of cats, no idea. Yeah.
It's about women like cats, Leary. Now, because I think the first time it points to something is the moth, which is not a butterfly. Leary.
I don't know why you think it's a moth. It might be, but
because it's dark, so confident. It's like black or something.
Do moths cocoon? I feel like they don't.
Yeah, they do. They're the exact same or something. Because butterflies are girls and moths are boys, obviously.
Well, maybe it is a moth. Now, who knows? I'll give it to you.
It's just because it's black or something.
Let me
now, butterflies are obviously green and purple and pretty. Now, what was I saying?
That's the first thing. This is definitely a butterfly. I just Googled it.
No, it's a moth. Right. Now, the first thing it points to is that moth. So that's like the thing you recognize immediately, because you're like, oh my god, that's the elevator. So you're thinking that like all the things that are in the elevator are going to be things that are in this lady's apartment, but then that's not entirely what it is. But then it also points to the leaf, and that's also it. So you just don't know what to think, Alidari. That's the point.
Yep.
Remix of the student council theme while researching. Oh, this is the coolest part, Alidari. Finally, we're addressing the problem head on. Oh, because they're all like searching through books to try and figure out what the Dark Rose Guild or whatever the fuck it is about. So we get shots of all of the student council members like reading books, and it's got a remix of the theme.
True. The remixes are really good. There's a few that there's like some I pointed out specifically in episode 19. There was some good ones where it's remixing the opening theme. There's 2 different remixes of it, and it's really, really affecting. So I like that.
Oh, also the main sad thing that plays at the end of most episodes does sound like "Fly Me to the Moon" from Ava. Just saying.
Isn't that just the song "Fly Me to the Moon"?
No, but it's like the instrumental version they use sometimes.
Right. Okay.
Like when Misato and Kaji kiss.
All right. So we got to take a step back, and now it is your turn to explain what happens. What is the flashback? What is this backstory with Professor Nemuro? Explain it all to me, please, Carl, because I have I understand it all completely. So I want you to explain it to me.
It's so easy.
Please, go ahead.
And simple. So, Leary, let me tell you something. There's this pink-haired boy.
Yes.
You're supposed to say yes?
That's correct.
Now, he, 100 years ago, was standing around or something. Now, this doesn't seem to make sense, Leary, because we find out that 100 years ago, a bunch of boys died or something. I'm crying. Now... But also, we see the girl comes back later, the woman, and she seems to be like 10 years older.
Suspiciously,
and earlier like you said,
go ahead.
Nobody cares about Keiko or whatever. Now,
no, Akio, like Mamiya sounds like Himamiya. To Keiko sounds like Akio.
Nobody cares,
and she's the older sister, the older brother. Anyway, all right, go ahead.
No, you're reading into this, Leary. You're gone crazy. Now. So the 100 years thing is up for debate, Leary, because now what could have happened is she's just changed her style and she's also immortal, just like this guy. But anyway, they sacrificed at a dinner or something, like Jesus or something. There was a big table and there was a long shot of its curtain getting run out. You remember that?
This is far later, but yeah.
It's in these 2 episodes, more on. Now, and I think they might have died at that table or something, but there was a fire and the little kid said it. But then the pink-haired guy was like, no, that's actually a cool fire. And the lady was not happy with it. So she left. She said, that's no good, you stupid idiot. And then actually you're supposed to think that the little prince boy that we've been seeing the whole time is the little boy. But that's not true. The little boy died a long time ago or something because he didn't get immortality because he was a sick boy. And can you believe it? Race is real and revolutionary girl Utena Leary. This lady can't have a black kid. That's crazy. It was a little white freckly kid. So, and... what else is there to explain? He couldn't move on, and then Utena made him move on, and he left, and then, oh my god, they go back to the castle, and they don't remember the castle, and it's in shatters.
Okay, there were certain things in that you got correct. I'll give you that. Well
Obviously,
done.
all of it.
No.
And you're not going to tell me what's correct. I'll tell you that much.
Well, you didn't even mention anything about like what's actually happening. You just touched on things lightly on certain characters, I guess.
Oh, they were researching how to get to the castle or whatever, and the Dios thing. Who cares?
Yeah, so just to actually summarize what happened, because I'm just so on top of things and I understand everything completely. All right, how about I'll ask you this, actually. Who burned down the place and why?
It was the little kid because he thought it would save him or something. I don't remember.
Okay, interesting. So, Kyle, what can I say? You've just completely misunderstood things here, but that's okay, because I'm going to clarify it for you because of my genius.
Well, it's lame and boring in the end, so that's why.
Yeah, so, Nemuro, who is also Souji, who is also Mikage, because he has 3 names, okay? He joins this like project that they're basically in this project they're researching the power to revolutionize the world and attaining eternity. There's like rumors of like what they're researching, and this is what
I already said that. Said that.
But initially, his heart isn't really in it. He doesn't really care. He's just there. He's a computer. He's working. He doesn't really care that much. Then one day he meets Tokiko.
No, he's faking, obviously.
He's not faking it. He really doesn't care. But then one day he meets Tokiko and he falls in love with her. And then turns out that Tokiko wants this research to succeed so that she can save her dying brother by attaining eternity. And that's kind of what gets him so serious about things. Like after that, Nemuro is like, he's like Professor Nemuro. He's invested. Okay, he's gonna work on this eternity thing, and he's actually very much passionate about it. But then the research doesn't actually end up making much progress at all. And then until one day when Akio shows up and tells Nemuro that to make progress, well, this is the thing. He shows up and gives a letter. He shows a letter to,
and it was the letter from the world of the end of the world.
Well, I don't know about that, but the letter basically...
Well, it's the same letter as the ones from the beginning of the show.
What do you mean the same letter? What does that mean? Like, is it the same style?
It has the heart on it, and it has the...
I didn't even pick that up. Is that... I cannot even tell you. Obviously. You know what? I'll take your word for it, but I hope this isn't a moth-butterfly situation, but...
And obviously, this brother is the end of the world, obvious.
Maybe that is what we're meant to take from this. Now, the point is, though, that we don't see what's in the letter. We never actually find out what it is, but I think it's pretty obvious because of what happens
isn't
afterwards.
This episode called The Meaning of a Duelist or something?
That's a wonderful question. Let me have a look.
And that's how you get the letter, and that's how you become a duelist. Jesus Christ.
Episode 22 of Revolution Girl Utena.
It could have been the previous one, actually.
Is called Nemuro Memorial Hall. And the next one, which is what you're talking about, is called Qualifications of a Duelist. So there we go. Anyway, the point is that Akio shows up. Basically, at this point, Mikage or Professor Nemuro, he's given up on like this research, or he's like kind of getting very frustrated because he hasn't made much progress until Akio shows up.
He's 100 years old too. Wait, you didn't even confirm the most important part, whether or not it was actually 100 years ago.
I think the only implication we get is that it is multiple decades have passed. He says that very explicitly. We don't know if it's 100 years ago.
But why did they say at the beginning of this arc that 100 years ago a bunch of boys burned?
Did they say 100 years ago? I think they said like 20 years ago or something.
Yes.
Right?
No, sure? They definitely said 100. I am 100% sure. Now, having said that, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
For some reason, I remember it being like 20 years ago. I don't know. If it was 100 years ago, then I'm even more baffled and I have no idea. So I kind of hope it's not 100 years ago. Because I feel like I actually understand one thing in Utena for once. But
it's not confusing. It's easy.
Yeah. Are you sure you're not mixing up the fact that 100 people died with 100 years?
Oh, now that could be a good point, Elitary, because it was 100 boys.
Yeah. My guess would be it was like...
this whole time watching it, the only thing I remembered, I said, this is 100 years ago. Wow.
All right. Well, if you're listening right now, guys, please clarify for us. I know you're listening
to
someone out there.
Because the thing that doesn't make sense is that this lady is like older. And also...
Yeah.
But she should be like 100 years older.
Yeah. So I'm assuming she's actually 20 years older is my guess. That's why I would assume
it's like 10 years at most.
No, it's decades, multiple. Anyway, regardless, who cares about this? The important thing is what is in Akio's letter that he gives to Nemuro, who'd given up at this point. And he basically, what happens is that Akio tells him that in order to make progress,
it's a ring.
He needs to burn down the building and sacrifice the 100 people inside of it. That has to be what Akio said in that letter. Because what happens after this immediately is that Akio is the, not Akio, Nemuro was the one who burns down the building. That is the reveal we get at the end of this episode, which is that he had fabricated that memory. He has a false memory of Mamiya burning down the building, when Mamiya had most likely either been in the building and died within the building when Nemuro burnt it down, or Mamiya had already died before that point. Which is kind of would feed into like why he'd kind of given up progress at that point or whatever. He'd felt like nothing had been achieved. But
you gotta say, who burnt this down?
Nemuro, the guy, pink-haired guy. Yeah, he burned down the building. And that's because he does it because, why he does it is actually an important point. But the thing that is
To create
preceding him
the
burning it
rings,
down.
obviously.
No, it's a character reason. But the initial thing that seeds this idea in his head is Akio telling him that, or giving him this note that we don't know about, which has to be saying that you should burn down the building as a sacrifice of these 100 lives to make progress on eternity or whatever.
Well, true, but the point of that is to make the rings because you need a ring to get to the castles. Duh.
Well, there's a few things implied. One is that throughout this episode, or these set of episodes, when we're looking at the flashbacks, there's a bunch of secret coffins that are being transported around all the time.
Because you got to kill somebody to empower the rings.
Yeah, so I feel like the implication there to me is that these 100 people were probably aware that they were going to be sacrificed eventually. They were planning for it. Like they were making their own coffins, and they were happy to be kind of killed in the end. That's at least what I take away from it. But the point is that, like, why does Nemuro burn down this place? And I think it's because initially Akio tries to get him to do it by showing him the note of, like, saying, like, if you'll make progress if you, like, sacrifice these people or whatever. But then when it doesn't succeed, then the next thing that that Nemuro sees is Akio kissing Tokiko. And that's what kind of sets Nemuro off the edge and gets him to burn down the place, because he basically hates Tokiko at that point. So it's like he does it out of basically wanting to burn down her wish of, like, trying to attain eternity for her brother.
No. He was just jealous.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It is a hatred out of jealousy. Yeah. So, which is interesting. I like it. These are, like, it was hard to pass this, but I think that
last part I don't buy at all, but that's okay.
What do you think is happening? Why do you think he burns it down?
No, he burns it down to create the rings to get to eternity to save the little kid who's still alive because he's standing on the outside of the gate and the mother comes to talk to him.
That's not, because the next time we see that memory, the guy isn't there anymore. The kid's not there, and it's reframed with him holding the candle.
No, because that was supposed to be part of the reveal that Anthe was the guy, right?
Yeah, that's correct, which is to reveal to show that his memories aren't eternal. His memories are incorrect. He actually remembered it incorrectly.
True, but the memory is just the face he was seeing was wrong.
His memory of the past, Mamiya wasn't there in the true recalling of that scene at the end.
No, I bet he was.
He wasn't there. It's Nemuro himself holding the candle, and then Tokiko slaps him for burning down the place, with the implication being that he might have killed Mamiya in that fire.
I do remember the slap.
Yeah, and she slaps him because he was holding the candle to burn down the place.
Who cares who burnt down the place?
Well, because it ties into the actual relationship between Nemuro and Tokiko and why he's doing this and Akio's role in all this, which are all important, I think.
How come she came back and she was, like, happy and she said, "Oh, it's my old friend that I kissed," and then she walked away? I can't remember what she said, really.
She doesn't say anything. He walks past her and she basically is
you're thinking of the wrong pink-haired guy. I'm talking about the brother.
Oh, Akio. He has purple hair. But, yeah, I don't know why she shows up there. She just shows up. Why do characters do things? I don't know, because of the plot.
She's not freaking out or nothing. She's not like, that pink-haired guy, I want to beat him up.
I think she's moved on with her life, which is, I guess,
This boy didn't die in the fire.
Right?
He died in a sick bed. It was sad.
He might have died in a sick bed, but the idea is that at that point, like, that wasn't on Nemuro's mind. What was on his mind was the betrayal of Tokiko being with Akio. Point. Yeah.
True. Who cares? Well, I don't care about this.
Well, I think it's important, but yeah.
Now, the important part here is... Oh, what the fuck was I going to say?
I don't know.
Oh, eternity, and whether or not we're going to think it's real or not, and whether or not believing in eternity or wanting eternity is a bad thing thematically. Now, that's what's important here.
Well, there's one more thing to say before we talk about this, which is that the Shadow people actually comment on this, and it's the most direct, like, commenting of an actual, like, events going on, which is that the whole episode, Nemuro, or Mikage, has been likened to a robot, right? Like a computer that is computing things.
True, he was a human computer.
Yeah, and what we get in this is that there is, like, I think the thing is that there's, like, a robot, the Shadow People is a robot, and they're talking about, like, oh, I'm just a robot who computes things or whatever. And then Tokiko is the one who speaks, I think, and she says, "It breaks my heart to see you like this now," with the implication being that after having that emotional outburst and burning down the building and whatever, he has buried down his feelings again, and he has reverted to just researching eternity because that's what like a robot, basically. He used to be passionate. Well, he started off not passionate, he grew to be passionate, and then burned that passion down, and now he's just being a robot again.
Wow, it's like returning to the status quo, like all the other characters.
True.
My goodness. Now, the important thing is that obviously the robot thing is just him faking, and obviously the robot boy is going to feel the most, because that's how character archetypes work, Alidori. Now, we're talking here about eternity, Alidori. Stop thinking about pink hair. Now, Because the Dios thing seems to be something immortal. Now, I think what's the internal part is going to be like Utena's will is eternal or something, and that's going to be the resolution, Leary. So write that down. You didn't write them down last time, so you better do it this time. But you can't want something
say it
physical.
clearly. I'll actually write it down. Wait, what? Say it again.
Utena's will is what eternal is, and that's what's in the castle, and that's like Dios or something. But also maybe she just gets it from Dios, who is the prince. I don't frickin' know. Now, what was I saying after that? Oh, you can't want eternal life from the that's not going to happen, Alidori. That's evil. Frieza wanted that. Now, Frieza was pink too, Alidori. Write that one down.
He was purple.
Now,
actually, was pink at some point.
Both.
You're right. Yeah.
But true. So that's interesting, Alidori, because this is like somebody going off the beaten path and becoming a not so nice guy. But also we got to deal with that older brother, Alidori, because he's the root of it all, the end of the world.
Maybe.
Now we're going to fight him or Anthe at the very end. Now it would be interesting if we have to fight him and Anthe's got to watch and she's conflicted. Oh, Alidori, now that's drama. Now, I was building up to something else there earlier, but sometimes in life things just get away from you, these thoughts. I can't believe he didn't win.
That is true. He fights Utena challenges him and he doesn't win.
Besides the finger pointing, the flashback episode is definitely the most boring episode the show has ever had. This is the most
obvious thing in the world. When I was watching this, I'm like, Kyle's gonna hate this one. It's a guy and it's a flashback of a guy and he's gonna hate it. I completely, you're so predictable, Kyle. Yep.
Oh my goodness, could I ever care less?
Now, if it was a girl, you would have loved it. You'd be like, oh, I love this backstory with this girl and getting her evil backstory.
He could have been a girl, we don't know.
True.
But also, nothing cool was happening. And there was no songs or nothing.
Oh, you know what, Kyle? Maybe you didn't understand it. Yeah. That's what I'm getting here. You watched this episode, you thought you understood it, but
me understanding or not understanding something has nothing to do with enjoyment, Alidori. You don't get that twisted.
Sometimes it does, though.
No. Because the ending part was cool. When you found out that Anthe was the guy the whole time and they'd been fucking with him, that was epic.
True.
Now... Oh, god damn it, Alidori. What the frickin' hell was I going to say? I didn't do any of my notes for this one yet, Alidori, so don't worry. Once I read the notes, I'll remember what exactly happened and I'll explain it to you.
That's right.
Flashback with our professor finger pointing. Mimia likes roses too, on God. True, just like Anthe. Bro, everyone's making contracts with Puchita. This is crazy. There was something about contracts here, Alidori. I was making a funny Chainsaw Man joke. Did you like it?
That's very funny.
And at some point, somebody says to the pink-haired guy, your only choice is to revolutionize the world. Who was it? I don't know, but
Akio goes up to him in the flashback and says the exact line of like, your only option is to revolutionize the world.
Duelist letter.
The path you must take is being prepared. Yeah.
Utena mirroring with Takio. True, he kept calling Ukiya Takio or something. I said, this guy's fucking stupid. As long as they stay in these gardens called schools, they can never become adults. Now, this was important, Alidori.
That is important. But on the... Tokiko Utena parallel. It is interesting where I'm like, I'm not quite sure what the parallel is there. Not that it's too relevant.
She looks after Anthe.
That is what it is, I think. Like, that is the initial thing that makes him think of her. Yeah, beyond that, I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. Anyway.
Now,
true, schools and are gardens where people don't grow or something.
You've got to grow up. That's important. And you can't stay in school forever like this pink-haired boy. Or that guy that used to be the school president. He was telling his kids about it. It wasn't cool.
Oh, that guy in the shadow people.
No, the shadows. Not Toga. Toga's lame.
Bro, talk about eternity. He's eternally silent now. Oh my god.
No, not next episode. But true, graduating's good. And this actually ties into that lady moving forward, Alidori, that you were saying before. Because she left the school, so she got to move on with her life. Very important. But also, that no good brother is still there too, so we'll kick his ass later. This kid is dead. The kids is dead. What do you think that meant? No, that wasn't in that episode. That was definitely in the next episode.
I think he dies at the end of... maybe not, actually. I'm not sure.
So who knows what I meant by that.
Maybe the 100 kids at the school who were at the research institute.
That feels like next episode too. They're fighting over Utena's allegiance. True, the Rose boys are trying to get her and says, tell her all your problems and get her in that elevator. She doesn't go. But also the student council's like, maybe we should make Utena a member. Stupid clashing people. Utena's an island, Leary.
That's right, with pink hair.
And let me tell you something. She doesn't care about who burnt down that building.
That's
Utena
right.
doesn't need any help, Baka. That was pretty funny. This guy thinks Utena is like Takio or something. True, we just said that. Wide shot when Utena punches him are all live action photos. True. When she punches the pink-haired guy, there's like a wide shot, and instead of all the jewelists on the thing, it's just like live action photos. Did you catch this, Lyric?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
No, you didn't. You're lying. Shadows about Daddy going to school. Oh my god, that was this episode.
Wait, this scene, where it is like them in front of the portraits and Mikage confronts Utena. There's a really cool scene where he like turns his head slowly to face her. And I always thought, I'm like, that's like a super cool
True.
shot. Yeah.
I thought there was gonna be some crazy reveal or something, but that didn't happen. Song starts and we're already there. Oh, I think we went to the fighting arena.
Yeah, we skipped to
early.
the animation. Yeah, it just started.
Oh, that's true. Now I remember what I meant. Don't worry, Leroy. They were all looking to attain eternity, to stop what they like from evolving or changing. This is about all the duelists, but I said that like 2 hours ago. So the kid wasn't a kid on God. Race matters. True, I said that. The main song sounds like Fly Me to the Moon. I already said that. The path you must take is not prepared for you. True, and earlier somebody had said it was prepared for you. That's what the pink guy was always saying, but it's not. You got to go out, forge your own path, Leadery. Oh my goodness.
You
now
will never
graduate
defeat
from
my
this place.
sister who dwells in your memories.
True. Sister?
This was Mamiya talking to Mikage in the fight.
Yes. True. Now graduate from this place. Now that's fucking crazy. The place is burnt down and no one remembers it. True. Miki and is struggling to remember, just like Chainsaw Man struggling to remember things.
Yep.
The boy was Anthe the whole time.
It's a pretty crazy twist, yeah.
That's the twist that matters.
And it is like it's a fourth wall breaking twist almost, where she looks at us at the end. She like turns her head and is
yes, but she's evil.
Maybe she's at least doing things.
And that's
that
the
are
end
not
of
the
that
best.
arc. And Alita made us watch one more episode for some reason.
Yeah. Now I have a note on this, which is to say we haven't talked about it at all, but it is the fact that his memories are corrupted or not preserved is interesting. It has to do with eternity and like how he's seeking eternity, but he can't even like preserve these memories for eternity. Like they change. Like he can't even. It's been so long since he's seen Mamiya that he can't even remember really what he looks like. And
true,
he doesn't even remember.
This made a lot more sense
down
when I thought it was 100 years ago, so he had just forgotten.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Anyway,
but actually, maybe that guy was just fucking with him, and Anthe put a spell. Anthe's got magical powers, Alita. She's the only one. Let's not forget that.
What makes you think that? I mean, I guess the sword thing. She does the sword.
Well, no,
thing.
and also she makes a ball of light and changes Utena's clothes.
That is true. But then Utena also has a special power of that thing coming down or whatever, turning into the. I guess that's.
Oh no,
really
that's
her.
Yos. That's a different magical thing, and that's also Anthe, as I said last time.
Oh yeah,
so
true.
You're a shit out of luck, Alita.
What about Nanami?
Also,
she turned into a cow.
Well, that was just funny, Alita. Don't be ridiculous. That elephant, if an elephant actually crashed into them off that cliff, he wouldn't have been able to touch them off like that.
Right.
Now, and I'll tell you something, that red guy couldn't beat up no kangaroo I ever heard of. Now,
Neither could
God,
Utena.
I was going to say something important before that.
Well.
Anthe, magic. Oh, and let's not forget Utena's true magical ability, that backflip she does all the time.
Yes.
When she's fighting. True.
Yes. Oh my god, sorry.
And that's everyone. It for that episode.
Yes.
Did you hear Leary just hit his microphone?
Yeah, I was coughing too much.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
24.
Yes, this is... Also, I was quoting Mikage when he says yes, because he kept saying that at some point. Yes.
Hi.
I don't think he said hi. Or maybe he did. I don't know.
Hi.
I did watch this in the sub. It was a great
He probably
performance.
said,
Yeah. Okay, now what on
episode
earth?
24
this
about
was
Mitsuru's
in a coma. But then it turns out, no, Nanami was in a coma. And it's like a whole twist.
Well, true. There was something at the end.
Yeah. Initially, you think that it's like where Mitsuru's been injured because he saved Nanami from getting run over by a horse or something. And then they're going through the diary of all the past interactions or scenes with Nanami, but it turns out Mitsuru was there the whole time. Oh my goodness, he was there in Africa when she was searching for something.
They recontextualized the great elephant gags. Could you believe it?
I can believe it, yeah. And we got to see the elephants knocking them off one by one again. It was awesome.
And actually, he led them to the truck that one time.
Yeah, true.
That was crazy. So, Lita, you're telling me at the end of this episode, it's revealed that Namini was actually imagining all this or something?
Yeah, at the end, it's revealed that actually Nanami's in a coma, and she was having this imaginary dream of him being injured, and
he didn't save her from the horse this time. See, my interpretation was different, Alita. I thought that it was just happening again, but like he also freaks out about her reading the book again.
It might be. I guess it's possible.
So that was weird. But then he said 24 is a really bad one. So I don't know what 24 was.
Well, 24 is this episode.
Whoa, don't even fucking say that shit, O'Leary. That's fucking crazy.
Yep.
Now, I thought it was a nude picture. He did get naked at one point, remember that?
Do. With her? Oh, yeah,
no,
true.
That's definitely not.
Yep.
And Namini fell out a window.
Yeah, true. And I was convinced it was going to be a Cowboy Bebop reference, but when does that come out? Is that out yet by this point?
No, that's the next year. Cowboy Bebop was referencing the great Namini.
Yep.
But true, let's go through my great 4 notes, Elitery.
Oh,
another running horse. True. There's new shots in these flashback bits. Because I remember, Elitery, one time you told me there's an episode that seems like a flashback episode that's not a flashback episode. Now, you could have been talking about 13, or you could have been talking about this one.
I've talked about both of them, to be honest, because they're both like kind of seem like flashback. Well, actually, no, the one I was talking about has not happened yet, but that will certainly happen. But it is also true for these two.
So much recap in Utena, that's why it's just not good enough.
Never skip it though, because there's important moments.
Never skip it. Now that's you just like you should never skip the OP of any show you're watching.
That's true. Especially for Orb on the movements of the earth, everyone. That's an opening you should never skip. My goodness.
Yeah, I'm sure it's better than the great Naruto one you're not listening to right now, you fucking hack.
Next note, go ahead.
There new shots in these flashback bits. I don't remember Choo Choo getting wind up. True, it wasn't just Mikage or whatever. There was the new shot of Choo Choo drinking wine at that party, which I'm pretty sure was new, Elitery. The great recontextualization of all of the elephant gags. We already talked about that. The 3 boys interact with the shadows this time, and they leave in a UFO again. And also, they were elephants. And that's all my notes.
That's crazy. My goodness. All right. What have I got? Let's see. I have one miscellaneous note, which says, is something we've already talked about. Nanami calls out Mickey for the watch thing, and he doesn't answer. Then I also have a whole thing. Oh, actually, I can't talk about that yet. That's all I got. That's all my notes. Oh. So is there anything else you want to say before I announce the name of the next saga? Which, by the way, if anyone listening right now, we will be watching the whole rest of the show. So we're like up to episode 39.
It's like 14 episodes or something, O'Leary. I don't know if I can do it.
That's right. Luckily, you have 2 weeks to do this. So I'm sure you can get it done.
You know what sucks, and this is a meta conversation about our conversations, is that it is just always better to procrastinate and then watch them all in the last 3 episodes, or last 3 days, because I was struggling to remember some things about these early episodes, Leary, and Naruto is going to be even worse, because I watched some of those like immediately. I went on a streak of watching one a day for a long time. So yes, literally 20 years ago. So Leary, from now on, we got to remember, watch them all on the last 3 days and ruin your life and make yourself miserable and say, I'm never doing another discussion series again, okay?
You know, for, 14, 15 episodes, maybe spread it out a bit, you know? I'm sure there'll be a lot to digest in this set.
This one was probably fine. But, you just got to come in with such excitement if, you freaking just watched them. Like last time I did that. So, Leary, let me know the name of this next
All right, next time we are watching episodes 25 to 39, which is titled, at least according to Wikipedia, Apocalypse Saga.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I guess we'll see what it means.
Of course that was going to be the name. The apocalypse is now. True, Leader, you're supposed to give me a hint.
I don't know. There's nothing I can say. I can say that I remember these, like there's a lot I remember in this set of episodes. There's a lot I don't remember. There's a lot I'm confused about, as I have been up until this point. So I'm excited to watch the rest of the show. Now,
Leader, you got to take into account that the last movie is called Adolescence. So they're growing up, Leader. I understand. They're finally graduating. They're heeding the warning of this pink guy. Now, also, it looked like Anthe had long hair and they were fighting in the poster of that movie. So, I don't know, Leader, but it could have been a different purple-haired girl. I didn't look at it too hard. Now, Apocalypse. Is it just going to be another group of guys? No, it's going to be the brother and sister, Leader. But what are we going to do for 30 episodes?
15.
It's 15?
Isn't it? What was it? 25 to 39? I
thought it was 14. No, because I always make this mistake, Leary, because there's one 15. Extra than you think. Because you think it would be 14. Because because we stopped at 24 and it goes until 7. So you're thinking the difference there is 4. I don't know, Leary. I don't even remember how many episodes this fucking show has.
39.
Now, oh, well, I'll see. I was thinking 37. But then I would have been wrong anyway. Now, what's important here is that it's just like last time. There's literally nothing to predict. The red guy is going to come back. The green guy is going to come back. And Anthe's brother is going to be the final bad guy.
Let me write that down.
You're not going to remember, and you're not going to rewatch.
All right.
So,
All right. Anything else you want to say?
I cannot possibly think of another prediction, Elitery. I
That's
think,
good to
don't
hear.
worry, at the end, everyone is going to be a nice, relatable bad guy. Even if we have to kill them, they will die with us thinking, oh, he suffered so much.
What is this prediction? What?
That the Anthe isn't going to be evil in the end, just for a little bit. God damn it, O'Leary.
Oh,
How
okay,
about
I
you keep up?
understand.
And same with the brother.
Yep, let me just write it down. Okay.
No, this show doesn't have the balls to have Anthe be a bad guy ever. It's just going to seem like it, and she's not going to give us the details, and then afterwards we're going to find out she was a good guy the whole time.
Okay, so what do I do now? Because all of your notes are saying that she's going to be evil.
Obviously,
So...
you're not supposed to write any of my predictions down, Alidori. That would be stupid. Now, but that's it. Wakaba? Are we ever going to get more? Are these... Because remember, last time we went through all the characters again and their backstories and their side characters. So we're going to do that again. And this time, the Great Stooge is going to get to be with the Great Toga. Or actually, that's not what's going to happen. But just at the end of her next episode, Toga's going to acknowledge her existence and she's going to go, oh.
Wow.
Can we get twincest, O'Leary? What do you reckon?
Anything is possible when you revolutionize the world. So who knows?
True. We'll get rid of those social stigmas, you know?
That's right. All right, everyone.
Okay, Leary, I'm running out.
Yep. Thank you for watching. Look forward to our final actual main series discussion before the movie in 2 weeks from now. And yeah,
Let's just skip it and watch the movie.
that would be a wild watching experience. I don't know how that would go, but yep. Anyway, thanks
How would you know?
everyone. See you next time. Bye-bye.